We are uniting Park National's family of banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
To be undefeated is only achieved through hard work, dedication, and falling in love with the grind. The Whippets have threats at all 3 levels offensively. The Cubs are no slouch. They will pound you and pound you until you quit. The battle of the MOAC could come down to this very game. 2 teams enter undefeated, but only one team will step off of WW Skiles Field 5-0. But don't get it twisted. This game is so much more than a record. This is about heart, pride, and honor. Shelby Whippets, Lucas Cubs. This is it.
Good evening and welcome to WW Skiles Field in Shelby. Tonight it's week 5 of the high school football season and the game everybody's had circled for weeks as both state-ranked, both unbeaten collide tonight. The top 2 teams in Richland County, 4-0 Lucas in town to tangle with the 4-0 Shelby Whippets. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Hines, Erik Will. The Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. I think we can modify it. Game of the Year in Richland County. My friend, a marquee matchup here tonight.
Yeah, we got a battle of wills out here. We got Lucas maybe throw the ball once, twice, 3 times a game. They want to control the game through the run. I mean, you're looking at power and sweep and trap and the double handoffs. I mean, if they pass the ball, Aaron, you're talking about maybe a boot or a flood route. So they want to completely own the time of possession, and they want to beat you into submission using using their physicality. And Shelby, they're the opposite of that. They're a little bit more finesse, and defensively they're going to play a lot of games and a lot of schemes up front. But man, I'm really excited about this. This has been one positive thing from COVID, if we can say that, is that we got these two teams to play together, two Richland County powers on the field here at Skiles. Man, much anticipated.
Yeah, game of the week on My 100.1. A gorgeous night here in Shelby. We can see the Lucas Cubs, who technically tonight would be the home team,
right,
because this game, due to COVID capacity, cannot be played at Bob Wine Field. So the Cubs in the black jerseys with the orange numerals and the orange helmet. By the way, love that look.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I want to say this on the air, that I have how much respect I have for Lucas to hand their home games over to the opposing team, because not only for their fans but also the visiting fans, just with social distancing and not being able to get everybody into the stadium. I just think it needs to be said that that's a selfless act by their administration, their fans, their players, because let's be honest, playing 6 straight road games isn't fun.
No, and we'll talk about both teams as we get moving here. Lucas coming across the bridge right now. The Whippets will be out in a moment. Eric, you and I have done so many Lucas games over the last couple of years, and before we talk about the Whippets, let's begin with the Cubs.
Yeah.
What impresses you is they just go up 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions every week, bigger schools, talented kids, and they just get it done. It's power, it's hard-nosed football, and I'll tell you what, over the course of a 4-quarter game, they just kind of beat on you.
Well, and it goes back to the fact that the mindset of why you're seeing them play 6 straight games. They'll play you in a parking lot in an abandoned warehouse. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to play football. They don't care where it is. They don't care what it looks like. And when you take that mentality, you can slay a lot of dragons, because it becomes about the guy next to you and the guy behind you, as opposed to the hatred of someone in front of you. And I think Lucas and Coach Spittler have done such a great job of cultivating this unbelievable winning environment, and it just permeates the town and the program, and I'm excited for them. I think it's great. I think they got another state Final Four caliber team.
Well, let's give you some of the guys for Lucas. Ethan Sauter leads the way, leading rusher, leading receiver, nearly 500 yards rushing, 167 receiving, 6 total touchdowns. He was a kid that helped propel them a year ago. Ethan Wallace is another kid to watch out as the Cubs take the field right now. And Grant Barrett is a kid who leads them in touchdowns, who, when I remember a year ago, played a lot of defense. He's very impressive as well, but they just keep finding new names at Lucas, and they just step in. And, Eric, they don't seem to lose a step.
Well, and you're talking about almost 1,200 yards of rushing, averaging 6 yards a carry. And I'm glad you brought up Grant Barrett, because he's actually their leading touchdown maker on the ground. And so they have more than just Ethan. We know about him. We remember him on that state championship run that they went on, the state championship game that they played in last year. And then they got the young guy playing quarterback, 7 of 13 for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's still 55%, and they're going to give you the threat of being able to hit the pass, which is all you need. That's all the balance that the Lucas Cubs need.
Well, and as Eric mentioned, the quarterback Andrew Small, and we'll call that name throughout the night. The Shelby Whippets in the white jerseys, who we don't know, they've never worn those at home, or if they have, you don't remember it, right?
I don't ever remember hearing of Shelby wearing the old whites at home. So
looks good, though.
Hey, it looks good. You got the white on white here, walking down across that bridge, which I think is one of the coolest experiences you'll have in high school sports, coming to a stadium. But when you think about Shelby, it starts and stops with 2 guys, in my opinion. You're talking Owen Fisher, Mr. All Ohio there, and then you've got the rising star at quarterback, Marshall Shepard, who completing almost 63% of his passes, 7 touchdowns through the air. It's a really balanced attack that they bring to the table.
Here come the Whippets as they run through the banner, and the Whippets are actually going to receive. They won the coin toss, elected to receive. Let's tell you about them. 4-0, as we mentioned. Owen Fisher is 176 yards shy of 1,000. I didn't think many kids would get 1,000. He still has one more game after tonight. You mentioned Marshall Shepard. He's throwing the football very, very well. Eric, there are 3 really good receivers, and if you throw in Connor Hankel, that's 4 really good receivers.
Yeah.
The other guys are Blaine Bowman, Andre Hill, and Cody Lance. There are weapons everywhere. So the question I pose to you, Shelby has that offense. They can run it. They can throw it all over the lot. the Lucas defense against that, and on the other side, how about the Whippets trying to defend just that pound you ground game from Lucas?
Well, and make no mistake about it, Shelby wants to run the football too. Like you said, Owen Fisher with 824 yards, 13 touchdowns in his own right. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's averaging almost 11 yards a carry. And Marshall Shepard's primary target is a junior standout, Blaine Bowman, with 18 catches for 258 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's averaging almost 15 yards a catch. So, then you sprinkle in, the other guys, that I think would be ones and definite twos at a lot of other schools.
Right.
They've been blessed right now, especially in this junior class, with a lot of skill that's going to be able to go. I mean, you're looking at Connor Hinkle, Andre Hill, and Blaine Bowman are all juniors. You're talking about these guys will be back next year with Marshall Shepard.
All right, we are ready to go tonight as Shelby will receive. We mentioned Aiden Culler is the freshman kicker for Lucas. He does the punting. I was told, I haven't seen him, but I was told he has a very good leg, and that's always a weapon if you're a team like Lucas with that kind of defense. If you have good special teams, Eric, those are the kind of things that can win you a big football game.
Well, and it's funny that you bring that up as far as the Lucas Stevens. See, I feel like this is the X factor in the game is this Shelby offense gets the Lucas Stevens. Lucas does not give up big plays. I mean, they don't give them up.
14 points all year.
14 points all year, but I mean, just the average per play is very low, and it's headed up by what you were talking about there, Connor Harper. Heck of a football player, and their leading tackler, Lane Harper. That guy flows to the football.
Then you throw in Ethan Sauter, you throw in Ethan Wallace, Tucker Nolan, some big guys making big tackles, and we are ready to go. You can call it the Richland County Championship game, whatever you want. State-ranked and unbeaten teams meeting tonight here at Skiles Field on a gorgeous night for week number 5. Owen Fisher back deep, and a little squib kick up the middle is going to be fielded by the Whippets. It's going to be grabbed by Carson Ingram around the 31, work his way across the 35. He'll go down near the 38-yard line, and that's where the Whippets take over 1st and 10. And tell you what, anytime you kick it to Owen Fisher, you know he can. House call, I think, was the call that I heard from Coach Spittler. So he's a dangerous weapon. They chose not to kick it to him.
And Aaron, and I think it's a smart move. Now it drastically improve your field position. Starting on your own 38 is pretty good if you're Shelby, but that's the effect that an athlete like Owen Fisher has even on the special teams. You've got to keep the ball away from him.
All right, the Whippets 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 out wide to the right. In the gun, it's Shepard. He'll clap the hands. He'll hand it off to Fisher, and Lucas will greet him and drop him in the backfield for a loss as Lucas came knifing in to take him down. Hunter Rice, Lane Harper, the first guys to greet him and drop him for a TFL back to the 37-yard line. What pursuit right there by the Cubs.
Yeah, and you're going to be hearing a lot of the same names for the Cubs tonight. Lane Harper's definitely going to be one of them. He's had his inputs. I think he's got 12 solo tackles. I mean, this guy just flies to the ball, man.
So 2nd and 11 for the Whippets, their own 37-yard line. Screen pass left side, got it to Owen Fisher. Not a lot of room. He'll have an open field tackle made that time just across the 35-yard line. That was Ethan Wallace on the tackle. The linebacker came up to make the stick, and another loss. Back another yard, and so Shelby has had 2 plays. They've went in reverse both plays. What a statement by the Cubs defense.
Absolutely.
Just 2 plays in.
So they've stopped the run, they've stopped the flare. And here's the thing, that's a tough tackle. Owen Fisher in open space, that's not an easy task.
3rd and 12 from their own 36-yard line. Back to pass. Shepard throws one down the middle, wide open. Got Connor Hinkle inside the 30 into Lucas territory. Makes a man miss. He's going to take it to the house. Count him off. 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown Shelby Whippets on a pass over the middle. It was Shepard to Connor Hinkle, made a couple of guys miss, and darts to the end zone, and the Whippets strike on 3rd and long.
How about that play right there? So you take away the run, you take away the swing. This, to me, was the big thing, the big advantage that Shelby had coming in. They've just got so many athletes at that wide receiver position. I mean, I think this is their 4th wide receiver, and he makes a huge play on a 3rd and long. And if you're that just doesn't happen to the Cubs.
Extra point on the way, and it is good. A 64-yard touchdown throw and catch. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. It's Shelby 7, Lucas nothing. 10:39 to play, opening quarter. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus digital marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Skiles Field in Shelby, 7-0 Whippets over top of Lucas. Kickoff by the Whippets is going to go out of bounds as Marshall Shepard, who just tacked on the PAT after he threw the touchdown, angles it out of bounds, and so Lucas will start their first drive with excellent field position. Erik, as they come out here to the 40-yard line, real quick, want to go back to that last play. That pass was a little behind Connor Hunkle. He made a great play adjusting to catch that ball.
And you could see the separation. He had a good 3-4 yards just in separation. Great job reacting back. It almost, I mean, I'd have to see it again, but it almost looked like almost a one-handed catch there by Connor. Great reaction to the ball.
So the Cubs will hand it off on first down, and of course you have two tight ends, that power football look. They'll hand it off. A lot of times it's hard to see who's got it that time. It goes right up the middle to Ethan Wallace. He'll get a couple of yards, and they're going to actually spot him at the 37. So give him two. Second down and 8. Now coming up for Lucas, 10-16 to play, opening quarter, 7-0 Cubs here at Skiles Field, small and under center. Cubs are set at the line. They'll bring a man in motion. They'll pitch it to him. He'll get it up the middle, make a man miss. He'll get it near Whippet territory, and he'll pick up a home and kitchen supply first down. That time, pitching the football as they got it that time to Grant Barrett, who rumbles for a first down into Shelby territory. They'll spot him down at the 48-yard line. Good scoot right there up the middle, and nice blocking from the Cubs.
The junior Grant Barrett, man, having an effect on the game early, and that's Lucas football. Fine, you stuff him on, or, at least very minimal gain, and then they come back on second down. And I'm telling you, man, that little power play, they run it a little bit different because not only do they pull people, but the quarterback also leads through, which creates major numbers in Lucas's favor.
9:38 to play, opening quarter, 7-0 Shelby, 1st and 10 for Lucas. They'll pitch it to a man again who'll get a couple of yards straight ahead and just disappear into a sea of people. Is that time carrying the football? I'm trying to. Barrett. Okay, yep. I wasn't sure if it was Sauter or Barrett. You see them all disappear into a sea of people. It was Barrett that time. They'll spot him at the 46-yard line. So give him a couple, and that's kind of what it is, Erik. They get a couple, but they can hit a big one.
Well, and here's what you have to understand: it's not always the play side. Sometimes it's the backside, and specifically that backside ace, so the backside of that center that it opens up.
So the Cubs will now pitch it to Ethan Sauter. Left side will follow as blockers inside the 45, driving the pile down near the 40. As it didn't look like there was a whole lot of room there, and he just kept driving the legs. In on the stop for the Whippets was defensive end junior Caleb Baker to make the stop, but the Cubs have a 3rd and short, 2 yards to go from the Whippet 40-yard line.
Yeah, and here we go. So this is exactly what Lucas wants. They want to stay ahead of the chains. If you're Shelby, you want to get them behind the chains. They're on schedule. This is 4-down territory, so they've got 2 plays to basically get 2 yards as of right now. The biggest enemy, and I know that you can say this to any offense, it's going to be a penalty, but to Lucas, a penalty is astronomical. They've got to stay away from penalties.
8:15 to play, opening quarter. Cubs will pitch it to Sauter, left side. He'll try and score it his way, and he will pick up the first down. He'll get down near the 35-yard line. Owen Fisher and also Carson Ingram in on the stop for the Whippets, but that's a Home and Kitchen Supply first down. Number 2 brought to you by Home and Kitchen Supply in downtown Mansfield, remodeling windows, doors, and more. Think Home and Kitchen Supply first. And the Cubs have it 1st and 10 at the they have it 1st and 10 at the Shelby 36-yard line.
Hey, it's what we expected, man. Lucas is doing exactly what we expected. They line up, they're calm, they're collected, they know exactly who they are, what they're trying to get done, and their O-line is doing a nice job.
Here we go. Handoff this time as they bring Grant Barrett in motion. He'll drive right up the middle behind the pile. Nathan Zahner drags him down around the 32-yard line. So give him a good 4-yard carry right there. The clock continues to run, under 7.5 to play here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Shelby, but Lucas got it at their own 35, Erik, and just slowly but surely powering it down the field.
That's what they do, right? They got the boys in black and orange, man, just hat on a hat and move bodies. If Shelby's defensive line does not win the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long night for them.
Second down, 6 yards to go for Lucas. They'll pitch it. Ethan Sauter, he'll come left side, and one of the Whippets just grabbed him. Good job by the left side of the Whippets as they unpile Nathan Zahner. Caleb Baker were right there to bear hug him right around the 31-yard line, a 1-yard gain. That's a good defensive play.
And it started with Zahner there. He got his big old mitts around him. We saw him last week chasing people around.
Chasing the quarterback.
Yeah, with just bad intentions. And it's still, if you're Lucas, you're still in good shape because it's still 4-down territory. They're most likely they're not punting here. You just want to try to get half of this. Try to get yourself 2.5, 3 yards, stay on schedule.
3rd and 5 for the Cubs at the Whippet 31-yard line. Hand off to Ethan Sauter. He's going to get a little bit up the middle. Hang on, he's going to dive for a first down. Looked like the Whippets were going to bottle him up inside the 30. Squirted loose and dove near the 25. That's a home and kitchen supply first down, number 3 for the Cubs, and they just found a crease, enough for Ethan Sauter to get through.
Hey, must have put a little oil on, man. A little slippery when wet right there. Did you see that? I mean, he literally just squirted right through there, man.
It was a crack.
Right, and that's just it. Like I said, they're not looking for the 50-yard run. If it happens, great. They're fine with 3 to 5 yards.
And this time they'll hand it off with the quarterback. He'll keep it and nowhere to go. Nowhere to go right up the middle. The Whippets right there to grab him and tackle him. And David Ray in on the stop. They'll take him down at the 25-yard line. So no gain on first down. 5:42 to play opening quarter. 7-0 Shelby, who scored on the 3rd play from scrimmage on a 64-yard touchdown pass down the middle from Shepard to Henkel. And now the Cubs just marching it the other way. They have it 2nd and 10 at the Whippet 25-yard line. Under 5.5 to play here in the opening quarter. The Cubs will hand it off to Grant Baird. He'll get dropped. Carson Ingram came in and drilled him at the 25-yard line. That was a stick.
Yeah, that was a textbook, old school, eyes up, drive through the chest, keep your feet running right there. That was a nice job. So, but it started on that first down by a no gain. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Do you run your boot series here? Do you run a flood here? Those are generally the passing options that you get with a team that's running wing T principles. Do they come back and do their double handoff here? We haven't seen the double handoff yet, which can be tricky.
3rd and 10 from there it is right there. They're going to pitch it this time to Harper coming the other way. He'll make a man miss inside the 20. Breaks a tackle at the 15. He'll be dropped around the 8-yard line. There's your double handoff. Connor Harper got it, made a man miss, showed the wheels, and a 1st and goal for the Lucas Cubs inside the Shelby 10-yard line.
We hadn't seen it yet.
No.
Here comes the double handoff, right? And that's just a part of their counter series. Once again, if you're in the second level, if you're Shelby's linebackers, just read the guards. The guards take you to the play. Now, if you're a defensive lineman, hand on the hip, and you chase the guard because it's going to take you to the play. As soon as you look into the backfield, Aaron, you're going to look like Larry Curley and Mo.
1st and goal for Lucas from the Shelby 8-yard line. 4:09 to play opening quarter. 7-0 Whippets. They'll hand it off. Now they'll hand it off. A man coming the other way. That's Ethan Sauter. He'll get near the 5-yard line, be tripped up right there. Good tackle right there by the Whippets. If he got by him, he's into the end zone. So the Cubs get 3 yards, 2nd and goal from the Shelby 5-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shelby's really running guys in and out on defense. I mean, you can tell their philosophy defensively is to just throw as many bodies. I think they've literally had 15 to 17 guys cycle through on the defensive line and then the secondary. And at this stage, you're on the 5-yard line, but Shelby's also got one guy back just in case there's a breakthrough that second level, for a touchdown-saving tackle. But here, that's not going to matter.
Not tracking this play series, but it's a bunch of them here for the Cubs. Hand off to Barrett. Barrett's going to fight his way near the goal line. He'll dive. I don't believe he got in. No, I'm sorry. It's Sauter on the carry. Sauter has the football. He'll get near the 1 and be taken down right there. So 3rd and goal coming up at the 1-yard line as Sauter dove and lunged, but the elbow went down at the 1.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to get in there. It looked like the ball squirted out there at the end.
Did.
Well, at least through the back judge there, at least threw the beanie down. But I actually thought he was really, really close. I'm telling you, man, this is just power football. They're built for 6 inches, man.
Third and goal from the one. Handoff to Grant Barrett, and the Cubs are in the end zone. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs on a 1-yard touchdown run by junior Grant Barrett, who got the handoff and bowled his way behind the line. And the Cubs a PAT away from tying this baby up.
That's 65 yards of man's football right there. That's what it is.
And
it's 65 yards of man football.
14 plays or more?
Right. I mean, they ate, 9 minutes off the clock, something like that. It's just, that's Lucas football. I love it, man. That no nonsense, unapologetic, go get you some football.
Low snap, and Aiden Cull are able to boot the point after through. And we are tied at 7. We'll take a break. 2:47 to play, opening quarter in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. Shelby and Lucas tied at 7. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
And we are back at Skiles Field, and as we come back, an onside kick by the Lucas Cubs, and there was a scramble for the ball, but they'll say the Whippets are able to grab it. One of the upmen, the lineman, just got one paw on it and kind of pulled it underneath his arm, Erik, kind of saved the day. And the Whippets will take over with great field position, but that could have been disaster.
Absolutely. It kind of ricocheted off, and that's a great job there by the up man. That's why you always make sure the ball's kicked.
1st and 10 for the Whippets. They'll hand it off to Owen Fisher from their own 49-yard line. He'll squirt into Lucas territory. He'll be tackled around the Cubs' 48-yard line. Several guys in on the stop for Lucas. Andrew Finello, the sophomore, one of the first guys to greet him. 3-yard gain for Owen Fisher. 2:27 to play, opening quarter. 7-7. Shelby and Lucas here in the, I guess you call it, Richland County title game. State-ranked, unbeaten. So much hype for this game. And how about this? Both teams in their style scored on their first possession.
Right, so we'll see which defense kind of makes the adjustment first.
At the Whippets will bring Blaine Bowman in motion. The handoff, he'll bobble it and drop it. He will fall on it back in Shelby territory. At around the 49-yard line, Andrew Finello, one of the Cubs, came flying in, but Bowman able to corral it, but the Whippets will lose 3 yards back to where they started at their own 49.
Well, and on that play, you're running a jet sweep. Here's the one thing. You got your formation out to the field. Jet sweeps into the sideline are difficult because you just don't have much room to work with. I always like those things being more to the field, but great job by Blaine Bowman actually to get on it.
1:36 to play, opening quarter, tied at 7. Whippets 3rd and 10. Pass right side, got it to Cody Lance. Back into Lucas territory, inside the 40, got a Holman Kitchen Supply first down. Down to the Lucas 37-yard line. The second first down of the night brought to you by Home and Kitchen Supply in downtown Mansfield. Remodeling windows, doors, and more. Think Home and Kitchen Supply first. That's a big hookup on 3rd down.
Well, and here's the thing. If you're Shelby, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole. If you got to throw the ball 25 times tonight, do it. Marshall Shepard's equipped to do it. You got the receivers to do it. You can see they're going to have success throwing the football.
3 wide receivers for the Whippets on 1st and 10 at the Lucas 37-yard line. Slant left side. Andre Hill got it, bobbled it, retains possession inside the 20, inside the 15. It'll be dropped to the turf near the 12-yard line. What a throw, and how about the concentration by Andre Hill? Not once, but twice to reel it in.
Well, great ball there. He throws it right in the window. Andre Hill bobbles a little bit, had enough whereabouts to bring it in. And that's what I'm saying. Shelby's athletes on the edge, they're going to be able to air this thing out. I really don't think Lucas is going to find. I mean, they're going to have a hard time finding success on defense against this pass game.
Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 from the Lucas 12-yard line. Shepard's going to carry it right up the middle. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Grant Barrett grabs him and drops him inside the 10. They'll spot him at the 7. So a 5-yard gain there for Marshall Shepard. Will bring up 2nd and 5 for Shelby. The ball at the Lucas 7-yard line. 29 seconds to play. Opening quarter. Tied at 7. Whippets right back to the line. 3 wide receivers, 2 left. Shepard in the gun. To his left, he's got Owen Fisher. He'll fake the pitch. He'll run it up the middle. Got a bit of a crease. Now he finds his way near the goal line. He'll lunge. Is he in? I don't think so.
He's just short.
Got to the 1-yard line. What effort from Marshall Shepard. He gets 6 yards right up the middle and nearly got it in the end zone.
You know, Marshall Shepard, over 185 pounds, man. He's a good-sized kid at 6'2". So we'll see if they get one last playoff. Shelby likes to play fast with tempo. They may actually get this off before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, 5 seconds. 1st and goal from the Lucas 1. Clap the hands. Hand off Owen Fisher up the middle, and Owen Fisher is into the end zone. Touchdown Shelby Whippets with 0.7 of a second on the first quarter clock. The Whippets score in the blink of an eye, and senior running back Owen Fisher punched that one in from 1 yard out.
Well, and that's what you'd expect. Shelby played fast. They played with tempo. They threw the ball well. Marshall Shepard's delivering the ball on time. Receivers are catching balls. Shelby's doing what we thought they would do. Now, here's what we got to see. Is Shelby defense, are they going to answer the challenge of that, that tough Lucas offense coming back at him?
Extra point is a line drive by Marshall Shepard. It is up. It is good. We'll keep it right here with just under a second left until the end of the quarter. We'll have the kickoff, and then we'll break for the end of the quarter. So you're listening to the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week tonight on My 100.1. Pediatric Consultants of Ashland and Mansfield, featuring comprehensive care with in-person or telehealth visits. Learn more at ohiopediatricians.com. And Erik, are they going to say that was no good on the extra point?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Okay.
It did. I thought it was a little bit to the left there.
They're going to say no good on the extra point. Okay, I didn't see them give either signal.
Right.
So they hadn't put it on the board, so we'll say that he missed it. So 13-7.
That's a huge deal, Erik.
It is, absolutely.
In a game like this,
in
man,
the Cubs special teams.
Right. I mean, that's the way it is. And if you look at this, Marshall Shepard, he's completed 4 passes, Aaron, to 4 different wide receivers. Swing past Owen Fisher, comes back with the touchdown to Connor Hinkle, hits Cody Lance on the little curl route, finds him the gap in between the backers, and then hits Andre Hill on the bobbled catch there on the skinny post. So the facilitation that's going out there by number 3 has been pretty good.
Shepard ready to kick it off here. Lane Harper, Ethan Sauter back deep. It'll go to Lane Harper left side. It'll hit around the 17-yard line. He'll bring it across the 20, hit the 30, and be grabbed and dropped around the 33. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. After 1 quarter in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week, we got a good one in the Richland County title game. After 1, it's Shelby 13, Lucas 7. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Skiles Field in Shelby, 1 quarter in the books, 13-7. Shelby on top of Lucas. Here we go. The Cubs 1st and 10. The ball at their own 33-yard line. They hand it off to Ethan Wallace. The Whippets bottle him up. They push him back. The ball squirts out late. They'll say forward progress was stopped right at the line of scrimmage at the 33. Good pursuit by the Whippet defense there.
Yeah, good job. And we're going to see what Shelby's, adjustments are. Maybe it's just physicality. Maybe it's the second level filling gaps. Remember, there's 8 run gaps. You've got to account for each run gap, and you can't get out of your run gap responsibility. This is the key down. If Shelby can get him in 3rd and long, that makes it really difficult. So if Lucas can get positive yards and stay right on schedule, that's what they need.
2nd and 10 for the Cubs from their own 33-yard line. Direct snap this time to Ethan Sauter. He'll get a couple of yards, get drilled and dropped at the 35-yard line. Good tackle right there by the Whippets. Knifing in was linebacker David Ray, who, talking to Coach Mahaney, would play more tonight because they want to put an extra guy in the box with the way the Cubs like to run the ball.
Yeah, David Ray's a stud. He's going to be a good one for him. He's only a sophomore, played a little bit as a freshman as well. That was a nice fill. I do believe he's related to, if you're familiar with high school football really in the area and extended, the Ray family that even's kind of famous over there in Bellevue.
All right. 13-7 Whippets, 10:39 to play until halftime. 3rd and 8 for the Cubs at their own 35-yard line. They'll fake the run. Sauter's going to throw back to the right, and he threw it low. He was throwing back to the right. He threw it low for his intended wide receiver. Incomplete. He was going that time on the throwback to Lane Harper, who's their leading tackler on defense. And it falls incomplete, bringing up 4th down, and it looks like the Cubs are going to punt the football.
And even if that play's executed, meaning the pass is completed, I don't know how far it goes. Shelby had 2 guys falling on that, kind of sniffing that thing out. So here is a huge series of defense for the Lucas Cubs. They don't want to fall behind by 2 scores.
Aiden Kohler will punt it away to Owen Fisher. It'll hit at the Whippet 35-yard line. Take a roll away from Fisher, who will just let it roll inside the 30, and it will roll dead right around the 25-yard line. That's where the Whippets take over 1st and 10. 10:20 to play until halftime. Shelby 13 and Lucas 7. And we'll remind you, coming up after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose effort changes tonight's game for his team. That courtesy of the good people at Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario. Shop online at drivespitzer.com, where you can lease a brand new Kia for $99 a month.
I'll tell you what, man.
Are you kidding me?
That's almost like they're paying you to drive it.
Unbelievable deals. West 4th Street, Ontario. And again, drivespitzer.com. Whippets going to snap it in the Wildcat to Owen Fisher. He'll get across the line of scrimmage, get a couple of yards out near the 27. Good job by the Lucas defense. Andrew Finello, one of the first guys to greet him among others. And they'll spot that football just across the 30, actually just across the 25, They'll put it down, I think, close to the 28, 27. See where they spot it.
And that's a great job by the Lucas defense there, because those are those little hidden plays that you may not have seen, and how well does your defense react. That's how you can tell they're very well coached.
5 wide receivers for the Whippets on 2nd and 7. Snap to Shepard. He'll run it left side, and one of the Cubs tries to get him. He eludes that. He won't elude the rest as he's drilled and dropped right around the 29-yard line, and you literally can name your Cub. Lane Harper, one of the first guys, and Connor Harper both come off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, 2 Harpers on that one, man. That was a big fight there. They'll be fighting over who actually gets that helmet sticker there.
They each get a half, huh?
Yeah, they each get a half. Now, if you're Marshall Shepard, though, you got to hum that thing up inside. They want you to spill it to the edge. Good pursuit by the Cubs, man.
9:15 to play until halftime. 13-7. Shelby on top. The Whippets have it 3rd and 5. The ball at their own 29-yard line. The Whippets with 4 wide receivers, 2 split out each way. Shepard turns to the sideline, gets the call, backs up into the gun. To his right, running back Owen Fisher. Claps the hands, gets the ball, handoff Owen Fisher. Fisher trying to struggle forward, and he will struggle. He'll go nowhere. Is coming in to make that tackle. Really nice play right there. Logan Toms, the outside linebacker, took him down right around the 29-yard line. No gain on the play.
Hey, great job by Lucas right there. Obviously forcing a punt out of Shelby. They can line. He's gonna drop back and punt this ball. Great job by Lucas. A little bit of a precarious call, in my opinion, by Shelby. I thought, that's a 3rd and medium. Probably want to get the ball in the air there. You've had a lot of success winning some one-on-one matchups there. Pick one you like and go after it. But great job by Lucas. They did exactly what they had to do there to get off the field. That's a key stop in the game.
4th and 5, and the Whippets will boot it away with quarterback Marshall Shepard. He'll kind of turn to the right and boot it into Lucas territory. Hits inside the 35. Be touched up by Cody Lance. And they're going to touch that up at the 31-yard line. And the Lucas defense, with 8:09 to play until halftime, able to stiffen after they had to punt the ball away. The Whippets scored the first 2 times they touched it. And Lucas will get it back with 8:09 to play until halftime, trailing 13-7. Coming up in the postgame, we'll select who made a heck of a play. We've seen several of those already. It's brought to you by Mansfield's injury lawyer, Jeff Heck. The winner receives some free pizza, courtesy of Giannino's. That'll be coming up in the postgame with the Heck of a play.
Hey, let's get that offense back on the field here. Let's see these Cubbies. Let's see how they rebound coming back here. The thing that Shelby did is they got him behind the chains. You know, Lucas has to stay on schedule. They're not a throwing football team at all.
8:09 to play until halftime, and the Cubs will pitch it to Sauter. Hands it off that time to Grant Barrett. Barrett across the 31, out near the 33, so 2 yards that time for Grant Barrett. Logan Green on the stop for the Whippets. Give him 2, 2nd and 8 coming up for Lucas. 7:50 to play until halftime. 13-7. Whippets on top. And as you mentioned, this is a big drive because Lucas, you could take a bunch of this clock out, score, and go in tighter with the lead and get the ball.
I'll tell you what, Aaron, unless they obviously have a big hit, they will eat the clock up and score because that's what they do.
Back to pass this time is Small, and Andrew rolls to the right. Nowhere to throw, and he's drilled and dropped. Oh, my. Flying in to make that tackle, and I'll tell you what, we called this name a week ago. Carson Ingram, the linebacker, flew in and took him down back near the 26-yard line. That, my friend, is a TFL.
That's a big TFL. That's a no soup for you right there. That's what that was. Now, if you look at this early, when he first boots out, his crossing route was there initially. That's just one of those ones, and it's a young quarterback. He's going to grow, and he's going to see this on film. When he first comes around, man, the initial drag before it worked to the safety was there.
That's a 7-yard loss. 3rd and 15 for Lucas. The ball at their own 26-yard line. Smolin back to pass. Throws a screen. Got it to a receiver in the middle, but not a lot of room to navigate. He got it to Ethan Wallace. But I'll tell you what.
Ingram again.
Carson Ingram, Brinson DeLauder, and others were there to greet him after just a couple of yards up the middle to the 29. He'll get 3. That'll bring up 4th and 12 for Lucas. Under 6.5 to play until halftime. Shelby leading 13-7, and the Whippets 2 times in a row with a defensive stop.
Yeah, and they were able to get him to play behind the chains. I actually really liked Lucas's 2nd down call. I think that's a good call there. You're struggling a little bit in the run game. It was just really more of just it played out a little bit, obviously not like they would have liked. They'd have liked to have gotten that completion across the middle.
The punt was nearly blocked. They got the punt off, barely. Aiden Culler gets it away. It'll hit into Whippet territory and roll dead at the Shelby 30-yard line. But Logan Green, I'm telling you, a fingernail away from blocking that baby. But Lucas gets it away, and the Whippets will take over with 5:59 to play until halftime, leading 13-7. Again, this is the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week on iHeartRadio and My 100.1. Pediatric Consultants of Ashland and Mansfield, featuring comprehensive care with in-person or telehealth visits. Learn more at ohiopediatricians.com. And kind of the point we made a minute ago, this would be big for the Whippets to go up 2 scores.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we're getting some man free here.
Hand off to Owen Fisher, sweeping left. He'll get a few yards out near the 35, maybe just across the 35, and Fisher will go down right there. Andrew Finello was the first guy to get him. They'll spot it at the 36-yard line. So good run by Owen Fisher, kind of navigating through traffic.
Yeah, picked up 6 solid yards there. I give Lucas right now a pretty good grade here on their front 7. That's might even be Owen's best run of the night right there at 6 yards, and we're more than halfway through the second quarter.
2nd down and 4 yards to go. 6 yards on that carry from their own 36-yard line. Shepard back to pass. Bomb right side. Andre Hill just overthrew him inside the 30. He laid out inside the 25 and nearly hauled it in. Another just bit of air under that ball, and that's a home run ball.
Well, it's a good route. The receiver drives the defensive back towards the middle of the field and then breaks out. I thought the ball was actually thrown perfectly. If you're going to miss, you tell your quarterbacks, do not miss short in that situation. You throw it out and away from the defender. I thought it was good coverage, too, because it was going to have to be a perfect pass. So all phases there are pretty good. It worked out better for the Cubbies, though. And so now they've got what they want, a 3rd and medium. So if they can get off the field here again, once again, get the ball back with a chance to try to get some points if you're the Cubs.
All right, 5:18 to play until halftime. Shelby 13, Lucas 7. Whippets have it 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The ball at their own 36-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Shepard claps the hands, fakes the handoff, passes it right side. Andre Hill across the 40, makes a man miss, lunges and got the first down. Holman Kitchen Supply, first down out near the 44. Big first down for the Whippets. What a throw and catch, and love the effort of Andre Hill and the awareness of where the first down marker was.
Yeah, go get the first down, and you tell your receivers there, don't run short. You want to know what frustrates a coaching staff is when you run short of the sticks on a 3rd down. And that wasn't his primary target. Blaine Bowman was his primary target. That was an RPO. The Lucas defense did a good job at jumping in front of that, so Marshall had to go to his second read.
1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Handoff left side, sweeping it. Owen Fisher got a penalty flag thrown out near the 48-yard line. It's where he was tackled. And what do we have here?
Yeah, the face mask or hold. It looks like one or the other.
It was thrown right as he was turning the corner. I feel that's going to be a hold, and it is. He was trying to get the corner. Wasn't a lot of room to run, but that penalty will back up the Whippets. And, you know, we haven't seen a lot of penalties so far tonight, but that's a big one right there, especially you're that Lucas defense.
Yeah, it's a great job by Lucas because now you've pushed Shelby back. It's a spot foul, so you're still looking at, you know, it's going to be 1st and 16, 17, whatever it may be. But if you're Lucas, great job there. And if you're the Shelby offensive player there, you're the guy on the perimeter. Those are hard blocks to sustain for a long period of time.
4:46 to play until halftime. 1st and 15 for the Whippets from their own 39-yard line. Pass right down the middle. He's got it to Blaine Bowman into Lucas territory. Inside the 35, inside the 30. He'll be dropped to the turf near the 26-yard line. That was a fastball right down the middle and a Home and Kitchen Supply first down.
Yeah, and it looked like the backside. I couldn't tell if it was a corner or safety. He was actually working over top, so Marshall had to throw a bullet because that would have gotten picked off, not from the play side, but from the backside. The delivery on that was fantastic. Hit him right in the numbers. Obviously, Blaine Bowman, the primary target for Marshall this year. That's like I said, that's his Linus blanket. That's his comfort blanket, is throwing the ball to Blaine Bowman.
Yeah, Blaine Bowman catches anything in sight. 4:20 to play until halftime. Whippets up a score. 1st and 10 at the Lucas 26-yard line. Shepard's going to keep it. Not a lot of room to run. He'll get a couple of yards and go down. Several guys. Grant Barrett was one of the guys in on the stop, but the first guy to greet him and take him down was Nicholas Nicewander, the senior for Lucas. First guy to get a hand on him. They're going to spot him inside the 25, down near the 24. So give him a couple of yards there, but a good job of the Lucas defense.
Yeah, that's a good job flowing because the end's who he's reading on that, and that's Pursuit that tackled Marshall on that play. Great job by the Cubs.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Shepard's going to run and go nowhere. Tried to navigate that time off the left side. Again, Nicewander in on the stop and others. Several guys on the stop, but Nicewander again for the second straight play in on the stop, and virtually no gain right there again for the Whippets.
Well, and after he pulled the ball, he's trying to navigate through bodies. Lucas's front seven is doing a really nice job. Shelby's made their hay in the pass game. If they would have to line up and run this ball, it'd have been a difficult task tonight, man.
3rd and 8 for the Whippets at the Lucas 24-yard line. Shepard back to pass. 3:09 to play until halftime. Whippets up a score. Throws right side. Got it. Blaine Bowman bobbled the football, able to regain possession, tap the toes inside the 10 near the 9, and pulls it in. Home and Kitchen Supply first down. What awareness, what concentration.
Well, and here's the thing. Lucas, great job on your initial coverage. Shelby running swap routes there, which means 1 and 2, their slots switch responsibilities. And great job by the Cubs to take that away. Not much pressure. Marshall spills out to his comfort, which is when you're right-handed quarterback, that's to your right. And great job. You're told if you're to them, you work back to the quarterback. And that's what Blaine Bowman did there. Nice job by those two.
3:04 to go until halftime. Whippets 1st and goal from the Lucas 9-yard line. Shelby leading 13-7. They'll bring Bowman in motion. They'll hand it off to him. He'll cut it up inside the 10, down near the 7-yard line. He'll get a couple. That hole closed very, very quickly as Lucas was in on the stop. Lane Harper, Andrew Finello, and also that time Logan Toms was in on the stop as well for the Lucas Cubs. They'll put him down at the 7-yard line, so he'll get 2. Clock running, 2:38 to play until halftime. Whippets 2nd and goal from the Lucas 7-yard line, leading by a score. 4 wide receivers for the Whippets, 3 to the left. Shepard claps the hands. He'll fake the handoff, throw a slant over the middle, and that ball through the hands and a little behind to Blaine Bowman. He had him, but the timing was off just a little.
Yeah, and you know what? That's an RPO. There were 7 guys in the box for Lucas there. You knew that was going to be a throw coming in. When you get a 7-man box like that, that's the numbers game that coaches talk about. So you could tell even pre-snap, Marshall's probably thinking, I'm throwing this ball. Now, the accuracy on that's got to be the coaching point here. You want to make sure you hit Blaine. He's open there, hit him right on the 2. So Lucas was selling out to stop the run, so, Marshall's got to make him pay with that 7th guy being in the box.
3rd and goal for the Whippets at the Lucas 7-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Shepard claps the hands. Handoff up the middle. Owen Fisher, he'll be grabbed before he got to the 5-yard line. Grant Barrett with a great defensive play. Owen Fisher leans forward for 2 yards, but Grant Barrett with a monster tackle at the 5.
Yeah, and that's the numbers game I was talking about. So your tight end, H-back, comes across. He's supposed to be the kick out. Well, nobody's accounting for the backer there. The backer fills. So great job by Lucas. Lucas wins the numbers game. Their guy makes the play.
2 minutes to play until halftime. Whippets 4th and goal from the Lucas 5-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right. Under 2 to play now until halftime. 13-7 Shelby. Shepard claps the hands.
Yeah, they're going to call a timeout and think about this.
Down to 1. There's the play clock. We'll keep it right here on the timeout. We've seen some of these timeouts not be a full 1 minute. We don't want to step away and have you miss the action. We will remind you, Erik, coming up, actually each week we do this throughout the high school football season. We select the iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week. It's presented by the Neil Cady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk, specializing in auto, home, life, and business insurance. You can get a free quote at neilcadyinsurance.com. That's Neil, K-A-D-E-Y, insurance.com. This week it's Plymouth sophomore running back Shay Sparks, who had 390 yards and broke the school's single-game rushing record just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. So,
Mark Genders is really excited.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Coach Genders, you got to love what's coming back with that. And you know what? They're playing really well this year. I know they had a tough loss last week.
Got a big one tomorrow night.
Got a real big one tomorrow night playing St. Paul. You know what? There is a mental block in the Firelands with St. Paul. I think some of these schools are good enough to do a better job competing. I just feel like they got to mentally feel like they can make those plays against those St. Paul Flyers.
All right, and the Whippets are going to attempt a 22-yard field goal, Erik.
That's a good call. I'm perfectly fine with taking the points, especially because you missed your extra point. So this is okay. Marshall puts this through.
On the right hash, snap is back, kick is on the way, and that kick is right down Main Street. 1:38 to play until halftime. We'll step aside in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. It's Shelby 16 and Lucas 7. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back in Shelby, kickoff after the field goal, fielded by Lucas. Connor Harper across the 25, hits the 30 and spins his way out near the 33. And that is where Lucas will take over with 1:32 to play until halftime, trailing Shelby 16-7. And I know the Cubs are not that quick strike offense, but boy, would they love to have something here to get some momentum into the locker room. But I know they feel good where the game is, getting the ball coming out of halftime.
Yeah, and like you said, they get the ball. I mean, I think if they can get a couple of decent-sized chunks here, they do have 3 timeouts to play with, but I think that they would have to have success here on first or second down.
1st and 10, they'll put it at the 34-yard line, hand off to Grant Barrett, and he'll kind of maneuver his way across the line of scrimmage, get a couple of yards right up the middle. Good tackle that time by the Whippets. They had one of the big guys in the middle able to get in there and take him down. Actually, I know there's several guys in on the stop, and I was tell you what, Erik, I was looking at one of the big guys, Joey Pollock, who really did a nice job right there. As Barrett found a little crease right there, but he was right there. Pollock was to take him down.
Well, Joey's a big guy. I mean, when you look at him, he's going to take up space, and that's what you need in this against this offense.
He's 6'4", 295. As the Cubs will hand it off here on second down, right up the middle. Ethan Sauter on the carry that time. He'll get a few yards up the middle. Logan Green in on the stop at the 40-yard line. Give him 2. 40 seconds to play until halftime. 3rd and 3 coming up for Lucas. The nose of the ball just across their own 40-yard line. They trail Shelby 16-7. And they don't seem to be in too much of a hurry right now.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a fish out of water. You're asking them to play fast. That's just not something they do. That's why they play from in front, and they're really good at it. Now, having said this, they're still in great shape. It's a 2-possession game, but here's the thing. They're going to come out after half. They get the ball here, and so because of that, they can just stay the course, do what you're going to do. They know there's going to be at least 3 to 4 possessions in the second half. So this has still been a somewhat Lucas-style game.
Handoff that time was to Grant Barrett. Got a couple of yards up the middle. And Joey Pollock again on the stop for the Whippets. And it'll bring up 4th down with just, let's see here, 21.9 exactly on the clock. And the Whippets are going to take a timeout here. 4th and 2 coming up for Lucas. The ball at their own 42-yard line. So Rob Mahaney, hang on, right? Trying to...
Well, yeah, I mean, you might as well. You got
maybe see if you can do something here, huh?
You just about got the last one, right?
Yeah.
So why not sell out? You tell Owen Fisher, be smart, don't take any chances. You don't need him to take any chances. What you're doing is you're telling your pump block team, because you've practiced this. I can tell you this right now. They've practiced this. So this is something that they feel like they can have success with. And Green about got the block last time. So, you know, if they feel like this is something they can go out and get, why not? I mean, that would be an absolute game changer. We know this. If you're punting against Mansfield Senior, I'd be calling a timeout too. I tell you what, the TY Tigers block punts and field goals better than anybody.
By the way, I know this will not shock you. They blocked another extra point last week.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
They do it every week. By the way, if you're Lucas here, I'd punt it out of bounds. You know what I mean? I don't want to give Owen Fisher any type of chance to return one. So 21 seconds to play until halftime. 4th and 2 for the Cubs. High on the snap. Kohler's able to pull it down, boot it away right down the middle. It'll hit about the 27-yard line, roll inside the 20. Fisher will let it roll. And the Cubs will have Ethan Wallace run down and touch it right around the 7-8-yard line, and the clock stops with 9 seconds to play until halftime, with Shelby on top 16-7, and you kind of feel that the Whippets will just come out, put a knee down, and will head to the locker room.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably a pretty good plan here, especially since you're inside your own 15-yard line. You just don't need to take an unnecessary risk right now. You might even just hand the ball off to Owen Fisher and see if he can just kind of take one to the house. Every once in a while you get enough from prevent defense. If they don't have a 7-man box, maybe you do hand it off to Owen to see if he can crease it. Right. Yeah, everybody said if I was Lucas, I might take a timeout and look at this and just play some defense, because the last thing you want to do is get to a situation where you're playing a prevent, which means either a nickel or a dime, so we're taking either a backer or a D-line off. We're going to bring a secondary guy in. Shelby has not been able to run the football tonight, but I'll tell you what, all it takes is Owen Fisher getting one crease. He gets to the second level, and this baby all of a sudden, now you got a bigger gap in this score. So that's a great timeout by Coach Spittler there.
All right, so the ball will be for Shelby at their own 13-yard line, 1st and 10, 9 seconds to play until halftime. 16-7 is the Whippets' lead. And remember, Lucas gets the ball to start the second half, and this was such a matchup of contrasting styles. The Cubs grind it, power it down the field. We know the Whippets have a stud running back, a star in Owen Fisher, but they have the weapons at wide receiver, and the arm of Marshall Shepard has came up big here in the first half so far.
That's been the difference in the game, is Marshall Shepard's arm throwing against the secondary. So Lucas will go in and talk about it, but I'll tell you what, like I said, they still have the game, I believe, right where they want it.
All right, so the Whippets will drop back to pass. They'll throw it to the sideline to Cody Lance. He'll catch it across the 20 and go out of bounds near the 23. He'll get a 10-yard gain. That's a home and kitchen supply first down. The 7th of the first half for the Whippets, with 5 seconds to play until halftime. The clock stops on that first down as Lance caught it. Momentum took him into the sideline. So the Whippets have 5 seconds to play till halftime. 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 3 left. Back to pass. Again, Lance, right side across the 30. He'll catch it again near the 33. Another 10-yard out. Another home and kitchen supply first down. And the Whippets, with 2 seconds to play until halftime, have it at their own 33.
Tell you what,
that's just pitch and catch.
That's right,
isn't it?
Pitch and catch. Now, right here, obviously, you got to do something with it here. If your plan is so. Like I said, there's not many guys in the box. You could hand it to old Owen Fisher and let him run.
2 seconds to play until halftime from their own 33. Shepard fakes one way. Now step back, fire one down the left side. That ball going to be intercepted. Intercepted by the Lucas Cubs. Good play right there by the Cubs. as I believe the man that came down with the football was Corbin Toms that time on the interception for Lucas. And that will take us into halftime with Shelby on top of Lucas by a score of 16-7. Real quick before we break away, a fun first half here tonight. Both teams scored right away. It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, in my opinion, it's lived up. I know we got a 2-score game as far as 16-7, but I feel like Lucas's defense definitely answered the call there on a couple of drives, a couple of series that I thought could have been the difference in this game as far as getting out of control early. So if you're both teams, you're going to go into half. There's a few things you want to tweak and discuss that maybe with having two-way guys you can't communicate as much as you would like to. I think if you're Lucas, if you go down here in the second half and you can punch one in, all's right. There's no panic really in either locker room, but it's specifically the Cubs. You come in and score, you get yourself a 14-16 game, you're still within a field goal, you like where you're at.
But the other side, you don't want the Whippets to score first because all of a sudden that's a bigger mountain to climb.
Well, and it feeds
Lucas.
into and listen, every teams have deficiencies or they have their focus or they have their identity. But Lucas is a team that quite frankly they just can't play from behind. So because of that, if you make them throw the football, your success rate's probably way up in the 90s.
All right, we have reached halftime here at WW Skiles Field in Shelby, where the Whippets lead Lucas by a score of 16-7. We'll step aside. We'll hear from Skip Mossick coming up in the Ohio News Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes, run down the first half scoring summary, and get you ready for the second half. You're listening to the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. We're at halftime. Shelby 16 and Lucas 7. We'll take a break. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1. Welcome back to WW Skiles Field in Shelby. It is halftime of the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week, where the Shelby Whippets lead the Lucas Cubs by a score of 16-7. Pediatric Consultants of Ashland and Mansfield, featuring comprehensive care with in-person or telehealth visits. Learn more at ohiopediatricians.com. Erik, at halftime, the Whippets up 16-7. Let's run down through the scoring summary as the Richland County title game, we called it tonight, got off to a great start with 10:32 to play in the opening quarter. A 64-yard touchdown strike right down the middle of the field. Quarterback Marshall Shepard to wide receiver Connor Henkel. Point after was good, made it 7-0 Whippets. And then at the 2:47 mark of the opening quarter, on the Cubs' first possession, they were able to go down and score on a beautiful play by them. A 1-yard touchdown run by Grant Barrett. Point after made it 7-7. And the Whippets, with under a second to play at the end of the first quarter, were able to score on a 1-yard touchdown run by Owen Fisher. The point after was no good, and that made it 13-7. That was our score after one quarter, and we had no points in the second quarter until the 1:38 mark of the second quarter, and it was a beautiful play as it was a great field goal by Marshall Shepard on the right hash. Erik able to kick it through 22 yards. It was good, made it 16-7, and that is where we are at halftime. And you and I were talking about it before we broke for the halftime break. The first possession, very key for Lucas. Can they go down and get this within a couple of points? If they can't, and the Whippets then get a possession, if they score, the Cubs don't want to play from 2-3 scores down.
Well, yeah, they definitely don't want to. And here's the thing, when you're playing a quality opponent with the ability to score as quick as a Shelby offense does, I don't think you have the ability to do that. So this is a huge drive. I don't think that Lucas can afford to have any more of a scoring gap from what it is now, being 2 scores. And it's a manageable 2 scores because it's not like it's 21-7 or 20-7. This is a 9-point gap. So if you're Lucas, everything's good. Get back to what you do. Run your power, run your sweep, run your counter, run your trap, run your double handoff, and got to stay ahead of the chains. Got to stay ahead of the chains moving forward.
Tell you one thing, doing all the Lucas playoff games a year ago, nothing phases these kids. They're down.
No.
I mean, we saw them, in the regional final, the state semifinal, 4th and goal from the 13-yard line, and able to get it done. So, the very early stages of this third quarter, very, very key, as Shelby, again, who won the toss and received. So they will kick it to Lucas to start quarter number 3. The Cubs coming out a little bit later than the Whippets. So Marshall Shepard has it teed up, doing some stretching. He is ready to go here tonight from WW Skiles Field here in Shelby, as he will kick it off now to Lucas, who, again, as I mentioned, Erik, boy, would they love to get something going early here on this drive.
Yeah, start with good position off this kick.
And it's going to be a low line drive squib kickoff, going to be fielded inside the 20 by the Cubs. Right up the middle, Connor Harper hits the 30, breaks tackles across the 35. He'll go down to the 40-yard line. There's a nice run right there. They'll spot him at the 41.
Man, somebody dumped his Gatorade at half. Did you see that? He came running out of there like a bull in a china shop. That's a heck of a way to start the second half. Man, being on the 40-yard line coming out, that's a good place to be. So the Cubs have favorable field position here. They had just enough time to score in the quarter with 11:52, because we know how they like to eat 12, 13. I'm being sarcastic there with that, but they do, man. They eat time up.
It's a good 7-8 minutes. They like to chew off the clock. 11:52 to go here as the Cubs' first possession. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. He'll get across the line of scrimmage, squirt his way out near the 44, so give him a good 3 yards on that carry. Brinson DeLauder, Carson Ingram, and others greeted him after the 3-yard gain out to the 44.
That's a great job there. The initial gap was closed, so all he did was hop step, went a gap wider, and picked up 3.5 yards. So positive yards coming out. They're right on schedule. What are you going to do here on second down?
First down, got 3 yards, so it'll bring up 2nd and 7. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. He'll go up the middle, behind his blockers, fighting his way, bulling his way near midfield. He's into Shelby territory, and I believe he's got it.
Yeah.
He does. A home and kitchen supply first down, and that is Lucas Cub power football.
Well, and here's the thing. If you're Coach Spitler, you go into halftime, and maybe you kind of fire your own kids up a little bit. He knows his players. He's probably saying, maybe it is true what they're saying about us. Maybe we can't compete with these Division IV schools. And so, you fire your guys to come up out here in the second half, and maybe that foot gets put in the ground a little bit harder and that hand punches a little bit harder.
Under 11 to play, third quarter, 1st and 10 for the Cubs. They'll give it again to Barrett, the hot hand. He's got a room to roll. Inside the 45, he'll be dragged down to the 40-yard line, a 9-yard run, and Grant Barrett running downhill.
And here's the thing, all it is the student body there. It's the pitch, the quarterback goes through, guard pulls over, and it's a numbers game. And if you're Shelby, you won't see anything the rest of this drive other than that play, because Lucas doesn't outthink themselves. Their offensive staff's very simple. If it works, you're going to get it again.
Here we go, 2nd and 1 for Lucas. From the Shelby 40-yard line, they give it again to who? Guess who? Barrett. Not a lot of room to run that time. He's greeted right around the line of scrimmage. Caleb Baker and others shove him back.
He picked up about a half yard. It's going to be 3rd inches. I'll tell you what, you could almost measure that thing, but he might be about 6 inches, half foot, maybe a foot short.
He got inside the 40, but
right.
not to the 39. You are correct. The nose of the ball is inside the 40. So officially 3rd and 1, but it's about 3rd and about a half
foot,
yard.
Yeah. And so this is exactly what you want here if you're Lucas.
3rd and less than a yard for the Cubs from the Shelby 40-yard line. Barrett again. He'll try and run, and he'll pitch it, and he will bull his way, and he's going to get the first down, I believe.
I think he's got it. Because all he had to do was get right around that 39, and I think he got there.
I'll tell you what, Brinson DeLauder was in on the stop for the Whippets. Also in on the stop was Camden Armstrong, the junior, from his defensive line spot, but it is a home and kitchen supply first down for the Cubs, number 6 on the night. That moves the chains as they will spot the football.
Now I'm curious right here. So you're at the 39-yard line. Shelby's 39-yard line.
Yep.
Do you go back with that play, or do we now hit the counter coming off it, or that quick trap? So, this is the scheme part of the game that I love.
1st and 10, Lucas. Ball at the Shelby 39. They'll pitch it to Barrett. He'll lose it. Now to fall on it. Back near the Shelby 49-yard line. Niemeyer went down at the 48. Yes, at the 48, but they will lose 9 yards. And I'll tell you what, that's a big loss, because for Lucas, you just felt that power football just kind of driving at the Whippets, kind of had the momentum going. And boy, that's enough to derail a drive.
That's a backbreaker for this offense. We'll see how they respond here, what they do. But I'll tell you what, man, to me, I'd love to see the replay on that, because it looked like there was room to operate there.
I agree.
I think that's a positive play. That's just, man, that's really tough to swallow there.
2nd down, 19. They'll hand it to Barrett again. Again, not a lot of room to run. He'll get a couple of yards and go down right there. As I'll tell you what, you talk about running between the tackles, Erik, in the trenches. This is that kind of game.
Yeah.
And the Whippets on the defensive line did a really good job right there, able to knife in and take him down. And that time, the Whippets closed that gap in a hurry.
Well, and here's the thing. This is exactly why, listen, nobody wants to play from 2nd down and 21 or whatever it was. I mean, no offense has plays in the book for that situation, but this offense definitely doesn't have plays in the books for that situation.
3rd and 18 for Lucas. Handoff Grant Barrett off the right side. Did that ball come out? That ball may have came out.
I think it might have.
I believe it did. There's a scramble for the ball. Who's got it?
Now they're calling him down, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy down here is marking 4th down. And once again, this is a punting situation. I know you're in plus territory, but you've got to punt the ball. But once again, I mean, they ate half the quarter off the clock.
Give him 3 yards down to the 44 for Grant Barrett, but a good job by the Whippet defense. But again, that one play on the pitch that got away from Barrett, and it really, you felt Lucas' momentum just going down the field.
Yeah, I reacted to it. I was like, no, I'm thinking, no, don't fumble it, because they were moving the ball so well there.
4th down to Whippets, and Camden Armstrong nearly blocked it. Punt is away. Fisher's got it at the 12. He had some room to roll across the 20, hits the 30, makes a man miss near the sideline, across the 40. He'll be tracked down around the 41-yard line. Owen Fisher tackled. The kicker was one of them.
Yeah.
Aiden Culler along with Andrew Finello, who takes him down at the 41, and a nice bolt by Owen Fisher, and all of a sudden, momentum Lucas.
Yeah.
Now the other way for Shelby with a good punt return.
Yeah, you could feel that momentum go when the ball hit the ground on that pitch there on first down when Lucas had the ball. And when you, as a punt returner, when you can catch the ball running towards it, you get that with a lot of momentum. I'll be honest with you, Lucas did a nice job on coverage there because I actually thought that could have been a touchdown when he first caught it.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Whippets at the 42-yard line. Pass left side, wide open. Andre Hill into Lucas territory. Breaks the tackle, makes a man miss on the sideline, and kiss him goodbye. Count them off. 58 yards, 10-5 end zone. Touchdown Shelby Whippets. A hookup from Shepard to Andre Hill, and the Whippets up 22-7 with 8:49 to play in the third quarter, and a big-time play by the Whippets.
I'd like to see what the coverage was there. I don't know if it was cover 3, cover 2. The corner completely bailed, so whoever the flat defender there is did not get out at all, and that's just pitch and catch, and you can't do that. Marshall Shepard's got a hot hand right now, and get it to your athlete. Let Andre Hill go with the ball. Once again, that's your number 2 or 3 wide receiver there making a difference in the game.
And the point after is up. It is good by Marshall Shepard, and we'll step aside. 8:49 to play here in the third quarter. The Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. It's Shelby 23 and Lucas 7. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Skiles Field, the Whippets after the touchdown. The kickoff going to be fielded by Lucas right on the sideline. That was the quarterback, actually, Andrew Smolin, who makes the catch across the 30, 35, and out of bounds at around the 37-yard line. I thought that ball was ticketed to go out of bounds, but he caught it, Erik, right along the sideline.
Yeah, that was some nifty moving right there.
It was nifty footwork.
Yeah, nifty footwork. So once again, you got good field position. You're on the 37-yard line. You can work from here. Just now your pace has to pick up. You're not an explosive offense. That's fine. But now your pace has to pick up. You've got to be very deliberate getting in and out of your huddles.
So Lucas, 1st and 10. Their own 37-yard line. Pass going to be caught, and the receiver got drilled.
Man, I think that was Blaine Bowman.
Yes, it was Blaine Bowman after the ball was caught that time by Ethan Sauter. Blaine Bowman came flying up and tackled him at the 46-yard line like he was shot out of a cannon.
Right, and that's a good call there. That's just, they had trips there, and the quarterback does a sprint out. It's a flood route, so you got your 3 levels covered. So you're running off with 1. You got your back coming out of the backfield in the short flat, and you got your number 2 running out in that 10 to 12-yard range.
So 2nd down and 1 for Lucas. The ball at their own 46-yard line. They bring Sauter in motion, and he's greeted and dropped in the backfield. Oh, baby, what a play. Knifing in was Caleb Baker, the junior. Boy, did he come flying in for a big TFL.
That was a big-time play. And remember, Caleb Baker's story, he's not even playing without these injuries, and he's making the most of his opportunities. We've seen him play now. This is our 3rd time, and he's made a lot of plays, for Shelby here down the stretch to build depth on that defensive line.
By the way, that last touchdown was 6:49 to play. The goalpost in line with the clock. I thought it was an 8. Anyway, Lucas' pass is going to be on a slant, and it's incomplete. They were going for Connor Harper. He'll drop it into Shelby territory at around the 47-yard line. It falls incomplete and brings up 4th and 4. And the ball will be at their own 43-yard line. 5:31 to play here in the third. 23-7. Shelby on top.
Nice little curl route. Harper did a good job of finding the open spot. You got to catch that football.
Good throw.
It was a great throw. Everything was great there except the catch. And when you're playing down from behind, you've got to make that catch. You've got to extend your drive. Shelby scores one more. It's going to be out of reach.
Back to punt, Aiden Culler. He'll boot it away toward Owen Fisher. Ball will check up at the 25. Fisher tracks it down around the 18. He'll bring it to the near side across the 25, and he'll just go out of bounds. Good job by Ethan Sauter. Special teams did not let Fisher get the corner, and Fisher will head out of bounds around the 24-yard line. That's where the Whippets will take over. 5:18 to play, third quarter. Shelby 23 and Lucas 7. We'll remind you after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors Game Changer. That'll be coming up in the post-game. Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street, Ontario, I mentioned. At least a brand new Kia, $99 a month. They have other Kias for like $129 a month. The brand new Jeeps. We know winter's coming. We don't want it to get here too soon, but take advantage of some of those great deals at Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario. DriveSpitzer.com. Handoff to Owen Fisher, sweeping left side. He'll get across the 30 and go down near the 33, so give Fisher 4 on that first down carry. Erik, we haven't seen a ton of running with Owen Fisher because you know the Cubs are gearing up for that. You've seen a lot of really good passes from Marshall Shepard.
Yeah, absolutely. Marshall's been the difference in the game with those receivers. Owen Fisher coming off the field right now. He does have a tweaked ankle, so it looks like it may have gotten rolled up on there a little bit. So you're bringing David Ray, the sophomore, in. We saw him against Gallion last week. He's a tough runner. Shelby's been making their hay through the air, like I said earlier in the game, so don't expect them to get this ball back in the air.
Second down, 6 yards to go. The ball at their own 33-yard line. Back to pass Shepard. Lots of time. Home run ball down the middle. Got Andre Hill out there and he caught it. Andre Hill inside the 25. A roll to the turf at the 20. What a throw. What a catch. And the hookup tonight has been Shepard to Hill. They already had a big 58-yard touchdown throw. That was a strike right down the middle.
You know, I don't know the exact yardage that he's got today, but I mean, you're talking about a 64-yard touchdown pass. You got a 58 there, whatever that was. We're figuring it out right now.
That was just shy of 50 yards.
50 yards, and that was in the air. He threw the ball 50 yards in the air.
Yep.
And here's the thing. You're just seeing the athletes take over now for Shelby, and this is Lucas's biggest fear right now. You're playing from behind, and Shelby's just making plays.
47 yards to be exact. First and 10 for the Whippets. The ball at the Lucas 20-yard line. Pass left side complete to Blaine Bowman, who dives to the turf to make the catch around the 16-yard line. Give him 4 with under 4 to play here in the third quarter at Shelby 23 and Lucas 7. And I'll tell you what, we've done the Whippets a couple times this season, our third game. You're so impressed. I know Owen Fisher doesn't have a 100% healthy ankle, but with the way he can run and the way they can throw, Erik, it is so hard to game plan for what the Whippets can do.
I don't know if you can stop them offensively. I think that you can slow them phases down, but I don't know if you can stop them.
And off to David Ray, breaks a tackle, bounces off, guys, breaks another tackle, and he'll fight his way right around the original line of scrimmage as David Ray was running hard. Good job by Lucas as they unpile several guys. Ethan Wallace was in on the stop. Saw a few other guys get off the bottom of the pile. Hunter Rice as well for Lucas. And we're going to have David Ray come out of the game. But that was a very hard run.
Yeah, hard run. And good job by Lucas staying with it. You know, they ended up making the play here, so Carson Ingram comes in. So now we're on to our third running back if you're Shelby. So I anticipate this ball being in the air anyways. Passing situation, got a 3rd and 7. And like I said, they've had so much success here, especially, here's what's been impressive. Shelby has been really successful on 3rd and long.
3 minutes to play, third quarter. Whippets up 23-7, 3rd and 6. The ball at the Lucas 16-yard line. Throws a dart. Cody Lance at the 5 and a roll to the house. Touchdown Whippets. A slant 16 yards, and Marshall Shepard is peppering that football all over the lot here tonight.
That thing opened wide up, my man. I'll tell you what, he found the hole, sat right in it. Marshall's throwing BBs. Now understand, Marshall, once again, baseball player, he pitches, so he just kind of reared back and let that one go. Made sure he got it in between the safety, the backer in the corner, or the outside defender. Cody catches it. Heck of an athlete. You're talking about a basketball player. He knows what to do with it, and Shelby kind of running away here in the second half.
Third touchdown pass of the night for quarterback Marshall Shepard. He does it all. Point after up. It is good. We'll step aside. 2:53 to play, third quarter in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. It's Shelby 30, Lucas 7. We'll take a break. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus digital marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Line drive kick right up the middle of the field. Luke is able to get the ball. Connor Harper again. He'll scoot his way across the 30, hit the 35, and be dragged down at the 40-yard line. Another good return by Connor Harper and the Lucas Cubs with good field position. They'll start at their own 41-yard line with 2:45 to play. Third quarter, they trail Shelby 30-7. And we talk about Lucas coming out here, but boy, you and I talked off the air in the break, you were so impressed with Marshall Shepard, the way he just really distributes to all his wide receivers.
Well, I mean, he came out week one and threw the ball all over the field. We saw him against Gallion throwing the ball all over the field, and then this week, I just find me a better quarterback right now in the area than Marshall Shepard right now with these weapons. These weapons are incredible. I mean, he's literally throwing the ball to Cadillacs all over the field. I mean, most of these receivers, other than the dude at Gallion, would probably be ones on just about everybody else's team.
Hand off that time to Grant Barrett. He'll get about a yard. Camden Armstrong, Logan Green, and others greeted him at the 42-yard line. So a 1-yard gain. 2:20 to play, third quarter. It's Shelby 30. In Lucas 7, 2nd and 9 for the Cubs. The ball will be at their own 42-yard line. This time the quarterback will line up. Not under center. He'll take the snap in the gun. He'll roll to the right. He'll fire it right side. Nearly got a receiver. It falls to the ground. Incomplete. That time he was tracking Ethan Sauter just into Shelby territory at around the 48-yard line, but missed him. And the Whippets had a linebacker out there, and I think it kind of changed the window he was throwing into.
Well, and it was a little out and up. So what you're doing is you're getting that wheel route, as they call it, where he kind of fakes that out or gives the out a chance to open up. There was a window there. He just didn't put it in there. Carson Ingram coming hard from his Mike Backer position on that jet blitz is what they call that.
3rd and 9 for Lucas. The ball at their own 42-yard line. This time, Smolin rolls to the right, fires down the middle. Got him in. What a catch.
There you go.
Ethan Sauter into Whippet territory. Catches it at the 37-yard line. He'll be tackled to the turf near the 31. What hands by Ethan Sauter. That ball just came out of nowhere and just reached up and grabbed it. And the Cubs with a home and kitchen supply first down in Shelby territory.
Hey, Andrew Smolin, what a ball, huh?
Yeah.
3rd down, passing situation, rolls out, has a defender in his face, makes a nice throw. Great catch there, getting on the inside of your free safety there. That was what we're talking about. Good job, Cubbies, right there. Now, believe it or not, this is good for them, too, from this standpoint. Not the score. You're not happy about it, but you can work on some of that pass game stuff in a game situation that you're going to need later on down the road in Division 7 playoffs.
90 seconds to play left here in the third quarter. Smolin's going to keep it this time up the middle, get a couple of yards. Logan Green grabs him and takes him to the turf at the 26-yard line. Give him 4 yards with 1:18 to play here in the third. And again, Shelby on top 30-7. Glad to have you with us tonight. iHeartRadio, Aaron Hines, Erik Will, My 100.1, and the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. Hard to believe next week's the last game of the regular season.
Unreal, man. I can't believe it. It's really weird, especially because a lot of the other sports are just doing their normal thing. So football, it's weird having it, been cut, almost in half.
We'll talk about that more in a moment. Lucas, 2nd down and 6. They'll throw a pass.
He's got him.
Right side corner of the end zone. That ball is incomplete.
Oh.
Boy, he was going for Ethan Sauter down the right side. Double covers from Blaine Bowman and Andre Hill, and he nearly dropped that right between them all.
That was a nice ball.
Very nice.
That was a really nice ball there. Smolin, man, nice ball there. So you
good air.
Kind of a half roll, because you got to kind of pull up there. You can't get the edge, and I think that was just a smash route. I think one ran a little 7-8 yard route there and kind of stopped, and then they got the smash route comes from number 2 over to the pylon. So that was a great delivery there.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for for Lucas. The ball at the Shelby 26-yard line. Smollen's going to keep it. Man. Got hit hard. Kind of bounced off the guy. It was Brinson DeLauder and a couple of the other Whippets able to take him down. Nathan Zahner in there. Caleb Baker. He'll spin down inside the 25, down near the 24, but he took a big hit.
Yeah, that was a big-time stick there. Brinson DeLauder brought his A-game on that one. And he still kind of spinned off that thing and still got a few yards, but big one here. We got a 4th and long 2, 3. I don't think it's a 4th and 4. It's maybe a 4th and 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4th and 3. The ball at the Shelby 24-yard line. 14 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Smollen rolls right. Fire nearly intercepted. Tipped off the hands of Logan Green. It'll fall incomplete. And the Whippets will take over on downs. Logan Green with the awareness to get the hand in the passing lane.
Yeah, and that's a good job by the backer. You've got to find it. Think about it. They're going to level you on that, so you've got to find the different levels. As a defensive back, it's as much about, or a defensive player, it's just as much about getting in position, understanding when you get a flood route. We got a short, an intermediate, and a long. And as long as you get there to those places, you can generally find someone coming into your area.
So Shelby will take over. 9 seconds to play here in the third quarter. They lead 30-7 over Lucas. Whippets have it at their own 24-yard line, and they'll come out with 5 wide receivers empty in the backfield. Shepard back to pass. Lots of protection. He'll roll one way, now the other. Still looking to throw pressure on. He'll get hit as he unloads it, and that ball might be intercepted.
Yeah, that was not a good decision. Good job by Lucas in the secondary. I think they only rushed 3 there, so which means that they have 8 in secondary out there. That's one you don't need to force there. Just go ahead, take the play, throw it out of bounds, run it, do whatever you need to do there. You don't want to throw an interception in that situation. So I'd say probably right now today that's probably his worst decision.
All right, that'll do it for the third quarter. By the way, Ethan Sauter on the interception for Lucas. After 3 in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week, it's Shelby 30, Lucas 7. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Skiles Field after 3 quarters of play. It is Shelby 30 and Lucas 7. Ethan Sauter with a big interception of Marshall Shepard. Really the only bad decision he's made all night.
Yeah, and I want to make that clear. He's allowed to make bad decisions. He'll grow from it. He'll be better for that.
The Cubs will pass it on first down. They'll get it to Grant Barrett inside the Whippet 30 and down near the 28-yard line. So a good 7 yards on first down, and the Cubs are cooking now, moving into Whippet territory after the interception.
Yeah, and this is what they got to do. Every pass play in their book's probably going to be getting used throughout the rest of this game as far as trying to get back. And I love it. Be aggressive. Why not? Go out, throw the football a little bit, mix in a little run here and there, and see if you can't put a little bit of pressure on.
11:25 to go in the football game. 2nd and 3. Lucas, the ball at the Shelby 28-yard line. Snap will go to the quarterback, Smollen. He'll plow ahead, and he'll plow right into a brick wall. A load of Whippets right in the middle, and one of the first guys trying to see who gets off the bottom of the pile. Caleb Baker has been involved a lot tonight, Camden Armstrong, but Caleb Baker, who was going to be a JV kid, an injury happens, as he stepped in and filled a big-time role.
Not only has he played well, he's exceeded your expectations, but you know what? That's the whole next man up mentality, and he can either take advantage of that opportunity, and I'll tell you what, even when they get healthy at that position, he has earned the ability and the right to continue to play football.
3rd and about 2 yards to go for Lucas. They'll pass it right side. They were going to Grant Barrett, who was coming across the formation, and he dropped it, not able to bring it in. It would have been a Home & Kitchen Supply first down inside the 25. Instead, it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 2 for Lucas. The ball is at the Shelby 26-yard line, and you can assume the Cubs are going to go for it here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're going to go for it. And 3rd and 2, so they really anything in their playbook's an option right now. So we'll see if Shelby sells out to stop the run here or if they do some kind of a boot, some type of a double handoff, something like that.
4th and 2, dropping back to pass, little throwback left side, got a man out there, and he's going to be taken down.
Wow.
He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That is a TFL, and Erik, that is a big monster 4th down stop for the Shelby Whippets, and that was Garrett Baker.
Yeah, Garrett Baker.
Junior came flying out of nowhere, and was that a perfectly formed tackle?
Dude, no, he stuck him and drove him back. I mean, there was no moving forward on that, so that's a great job by that young man. Once again, another guy filling in since Owen Fisher's been kind of hanging out. Owen Fisher, I think, is going to be fine, but I think they're setting him out here, for obvious reasons. You got the game for the most part in control here, so why rush him out, especially when you got a big league game next week and playoffs and beyond. So that gives, once again, another young man an opportunity to step up and make a play.
And he did. Garrett Baker right there. So the Whippets take over on downs. The ball at their own 29-yard line. 10:31 to play in the football game. They lead Lucas 30-7. Shepard will fake the pitch and go nowhere. Lucas comes flying in and drills him.
Yeah, that was a great job by Pursuit there. I'll tell you what, man, I am really, really impressed with Lane Harper. He flows to the ball really well. He's had his imprint all over this game defensively. One thing you could check the box for Lucas is their run defense. It has shown up tonight, and it's been really good. But what you're seeing is the balance of Shelby. Lucas can't throw the ball as well as they would like to in these situations. And Shelby, they want to run the football, but when they can't, they still have the ability to hit those athletes on the perimeter. That's been the difference in the game.
And Rice also in on the stop that time for Lucas. No gain. Handoff this time for Shelby right up the middle. The back will follow. The blockers get a couple of yards. That's David Ray, who ran well last week late in the game at Galleon. He'll squirt his way across the 30 and out near the 34, so a good carry there will bring up 3rd and 5 for the Whippets. The ball, as I mentioned, is just across the 34-yard line. 3rd and 5 with 9:21 to play in the football game, and Shelby in control right now, 30-7. If you're just joining us, Marshall Shepard with 3 touchdown passes tonight, a 64-yarder to Connor Henkel, a 58-yarder to Andre Hill down the sideline, and a moment ago, a 16-yarder to Cody Lance. 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 5. Shepard throws a fastball, right side, complete, 1st down. Cody Lance across the 40, near the 45, and he'll be tackled right there. Another Home and Kitchen Supply 1st down, brought to you by Home and Kitchen Supply in downtown Mansfield, remodeling windows, doors, and more. Think Home and Kitchen Supply first. Can that kid throw a fastball?
Yeah, and Cody Lance, man, was that dude looking to make a play after the catch? He almost left the ball back behind him. If you were to see the replay of that, I'm telling you, he was like moving. I'm glad he caught the ball because it almost looked like he was moving to make the play before the ball even got to him.
Ball will be spotted at the Shelby 46-yard line. 1st and 10. 8:35 to play in the football game. 30-7. Shelby on top of Lucas. 4 wide receivers. 2 out to the left. Handoff. David Ray coming to the right. Nifty running. Finds a crease into Lucas territory. He'll be taken to the turf at the 48-yard line. So a good run of 6 yards right there for David Ray, bringing up 2nd and 4 for the Whippets. And I'll tell you what, I like David Ray kind of waited for the hold and just hit it in a hurry.
Hey, on that play, the whole design of that play is a stretch. So you're pressing the edge, pressing the edge, pressing the edge. And then you put your foot in the ground, you get one cut, and you get vertical. And David Ray does that well. That's his game, is one cut and get vertical.
8 minutes to play in the ball game. 30-7 Shelby. 2nd and 4 for the Whippets. Handoff. David Ray makes a man miss, and Lucas grabs him near the 1st down at around the 45-yard line. Good tackling right there by the Lucas Cubs. The first guy to get him was Logan Toms from the linebacker spot. They'll put him down at the Lucas 45-yard line. And Erik, there, I don't even want to call it a full yard, maybe a little less than a yard here coming up for the Whippets.
Yeah, you got your whole playbook here. I mean, I would assume Shelby's going to keep this on the ground. They're going to go empty, but I'm telling you, they're going empty to run Marshall, especially because, when you look at this, Lucas only has a 3-man front here. I think Marshall can get a yard.
3rd and 1, and Marshall runs right up the middle. He's got the Home and Kitchen Supply 1st down. He'll be tackled near the 42 by Ethan Wallace. who comes up to make the stop. And one of the impressive things about Lucas, they have so many guys with so many solo tackles.
Yeah.
They're really good. When they get you in their sights, they don't miss.
Right. They do. They tackle really well, which is a reflection of practice because you have to spend a lot of time doing that. Not only that, but this is with the pandemic, you've had less contact than normal. So you're right. When Lucas gets their mitts on you, you're going down.
With the Whippets with their 11th home and kitchen supply first down, the ball at the Lucas 41-yard line. Handoff David Ray, and he'll meet a wall of Cubs at the 40-yard line as he got drilled. Several guys in on the stop. One of the guys was Colin Arnold, the defensive end, among others, who formed that Lucas brick wall at the 40. Close to 2 yards. It looks like more of just a yard. I'll call it 2nd and 9 coming up from right around the 40-yard line for the Whippets. Again, as the clock continues to run with Shelby on top 30-7 about halfway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Shelby right now, you're just continuing. You can tell Coach Mahaney and his staff, they're just trying to milk the clock, keep the ball in Marshall's hands. They're perfectly fine getting out of here with this score.
4 wide receivers. They'll bring Hill in motion. They'll keep it with Shepard, and Shepard will pick up about 5 yards, be tracked down from behind. We've called this name several times tonight. It's Hunter Rice. He got him from behind. He's played a good football game tonight for the Lucas Cubs. Will tackle him after a 4-yard gain down to the Lucas 35.
Right, and like I said, I've said this a couple of different times. I know I said it in the first quarter going into the second quarter and even at the beginning of the fourth quarter here. Lucas has checked the box of a good defensive run team. And so what does that mean? Well, that means they're not giving up the big play, the home run ball. Owen Fisher's a first-team All-Ohio running back, and he never got going today.
5 wide receivers on 3rd and 4 from the Lucas 35. They'll throw a slant left side. The ball is knocked down by Logan Toms. May have got there a little early.
Yeah.
It was close on David Ray. They will not throw a penalty. They'll call it incomplete. Looked like he might have got there a bit early, but no penalty marker comes out. 4th and 4 coming up for the Whippets. The ball at the Lucas 35-yard line with 5:35 to play in the football game. 30-7 is the Shelby lead in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week tonight on iHeartRadio and My 100.1. Aaron Hines, Erik Will, glad to have you with us. 4 wide receivers on 4th and 4. Shepard back to pass. He'll step up, fire a fastball down the had a receiver, and the ball will be incomplete. I believe getting a hand on it. I think he got a hand on it. Was Connor Harper, who just got a paw on it. Otherwise, that might have been 6.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play, man. He laid out to get that. The receiver got inside position on the skinny. Man, what a great play by Harper there to save a touchdown. That was literally a touchdown-saving play. You know what I love about that? He's playing as hard as he can. It's easy to give up a step or two and maybe not try as hard. He is playing all the way through the whistle, through the entire game, and that's a great play because, like I said, that's 37-7 or 30-7, regardless of what the score is. Go out and play as hard as you can, and that's an effort play right there when the game's in hand.
Lucas takes over. 5:30 to play in the football game. Shelby 30, Lucas 7. They'll get it at the 35-yard line, their own 35. They'll bring Ethan Sauter in motion. He tries to turn the corner. He ran into a bunch of Whippets. Let's see here. Carson Ingram, David Ray, and others get him across the 35. They're going to spot him. They're going to give him 2 yards out to the 37. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Lucas Cubs. Just over 5 to play in the football game. And Erik, I think somebody looks at the score, and you think about this early on. Lucas, you go back to that bad snap they had. They were go down and score that. This game really could have changed right there.
Here we go.
Man. The Whippets are going to knife in and sack the quarterback. Carson Ingram, and also in on the stop for the Whippets that time, Luke Shepard, as they sandwich the quarterback right around the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great job by Pursuit. But getting back to what we were talking about before the sack there, that fumble really just killed all the momentum. I mean, if they would have been able to get, and here's the thing, we can play the game of what if all day. Teams that win make plays, teams that don't. But for the sake of what we're doing, we're going to talk about that because that was a huge play in the game because they had just gotten a couple of first downs. They had just gained some momentum, and that fumble just really changed the complexity of that second half.
Yeah, you tune in here and see the score, and it's a different story if that play happens. They're going to pitch it this time to Connor Harper, and Carson Ingram's going to grab him and drop him across the 30 near the 32. To quote Coach Scott Spittler, he's a sideline-to-sideline tackling machine.
Yeah, he is, and great job by Baker again on that play. it's just when you have big bodies that can move fast and then they're disciplined, it's a tough task. It's a tough out.
4th and 14, and the Cubs will punt it away with Aiden Culler. It'll sail into Shelby territory. It'll hit around the 42 and skip out of bounds inside the 40. We'll spot it at the 39, and that is where the Whippets will take over 1st and 10, 3:32 to play in the football game. It's Shelby 30 and Lucas 7. Coming up after the game, we'll select who made a heck of a play. That is courtesy of Mansfield's injury lawyer Jeff Heck, and the Heck Law Office is at 1 Marion Avenue in Mansfield, and the winner gets some free pizza coming up from G&E Knows. That'll be in the postgame with the heck of a play, and we've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, we have.
5.
We definitely have. I'll tell you what, especially through the air for the Whippets today here. So, Shelby's not doing wholesale changes, but they are bringing some different guys in here. Just got number 44 at the running back position here. That's not Ernest Biner, Aaron.
No, we saw Skylar Winters, I believe, a week ago, and guess what? He sprinted it last time and got the first handoff and gets it this time. Across the 40, hits the 45, stumbles into Lucas territory, and a penalty marker comes out late. Right now, he has a home and kitchen supply, first down into Lucas territory. We have a hold, though, coming up on the Whippets. That happened to him last week.
Yeah,
he had a great carry, and it came back.
Carry. Yeah, that was a great job there, and that might be the best run of the night for Shelby right there. So they called a hold out here on the edge. I think that the official from the other side of the field threw that baby. But if you're Shelby, that's a spot foul, so it's still going to be 1st and 7, 1st and 8.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is going to be 1st and 7 as the ball will be on the Whippet 42-yard line. 3:24 to play in the football game. It's Shelby 30 and Lucas 7 here. Big matchup tonight. Everybody's been really excited about this one. These two, to our knowledge, have never played, and if we weren't in the pandemic, they wouldn't be playing.
Right.
But Eric, the excitement for this is why you love high school sports.
It was great. I'll tell you what, it's 8:40, Aaron. We're getting ready to finish this game. I mean, when you play Lucas, you get home in time to play some Yahtzee. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible.
You still got some Friday night left. Handoff, Winters. He's going to break free, and he is gone. He's going to roll down the sideline. The Cubs trying to chase him. No, they will. They'll get him inside the 5. I thought he was gone.
Yeah, baby.
Inside the 5, the Cubs will track him down around the 2-yard line. As that time on the carry, we called his name a moment ago. Skylar Winters got a haul, hit it down the sideline, and got tripped up at the 2. A 56-yard sprint down the sideline.
Now, if you're Skylar Winters, I guarantee he's a little gassed after that run, but there's no way you come out. And if you're coach,
I want the ball.
Yeah, you got to say, listen, let 44, let the big dog eat on this drive. What a run, man.
Yeah,
nice job.
Absolutely. 1st and goal for the Whippets at the 2. Handoff. Guess who? Skylar Winters rolls in, stomps his feet in the end zone. Touchdown, Shelby Whippets. As for the first time this season, that time, and Eric, he is a freshman. Skylar Winters into the end zone on a 2-yard run, and the Whippets having some fun tonight here at Skiles Field.
How many running backs do they have in the arsenal? Because the Ray kid's a stud.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know about Owen Fisher, and then you bring in the freshman, and he's running around out here, like his hair's on fire. I love it. That was absolutely incredible. Shelby had not run the ball essentially all night, and they bring this dude in, and he just starts running the ball around like crazy.
2:47 to go in the football game. Point after on the way from Marshall Shepard. It is good, and we'll step aside. 2:47 to play in the football game. The Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. It's Shelby 37 and Lucas 7. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus digital marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
kickoff by the Whippets as we welcome you back to Skiles Field by Marshall Shepard. Will be line drived out of bounds inside the 25-yard line as everybody in the booth talking about freshman Skylar Winters and his 56-yard bolt down the sideline and then punched it in. Be the talk around town, huh?
I'll tell you what, Mayor Shag better watch out. He might have a freshman taking his seat here. That was unbelievable. I mean, this place is a buzz right now. Everybody up here is talking about the old freshman carrying that thing around. I'll tell you what, wearing 44, he looks like old John Riggins.
The Whippets lead 37-7 over Lucas. We have a running clock with 2:25 to play in the football game. Lucas will have it after the kickoff out of bounds by Shelby at their own 35-yard line, and they will pitch it right up the middle. Actually, I thought they were going to pitch it. They'll hand it off right up the middle, and looks like a rugby scrum.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Eric, you don't even really know who has the ball as everybody just disappeared. And as they unpile, it was Ethan Wallace, the fullback. And tell you what, if you're watching in the stands, sometimes you don't know who has it for Lucas.
Well, I tell you what, especially when they get behind that O-line, because literally everybody just pound, and then the ball falls over. Next thing you know, it's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, they got 8 yards on that play. 1:46 to go in the football game. 2nd and 2 for Lucas. The ball at their own 43-yard line. Shelby 37 and Lucas 7. Again, the Cubs will come to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback under center. Line is set. Snap. They're going to pitch it this time to one of the running backs, and he's going to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
As he got drilled by the Whippets coming in to take him down. Really nice play by the Shelby Whippets. That time it was Noah Langston, the junior, carrying the ball for the Lucas Cubs. And again, he just disappeared into a sea of Whippet jerseys.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing, too, is just offense and defensive line-wise. Specifically, the defensive line for Shelby tonight really rose up after that first drive. You could tell they made some adjustments, did what they needed to do, and that's a huge difference in this game when you can rotate 7, 8, maybe even 9 guys on that D-line.
Langston with 1 yard on that carry. Handoff this time to the running back, and he's going to get a first down. He is into Shelby territory across midfield. Logan Toms on the carry that time. Actually, no, check that. Not Logan Toms that time. Braden Jackson on the carry that time for the Lucas Cubs. They have a home and kitchen supply first down. They're 8th of the ball game with 30 seconds to play. The Whippet faithful below us in attendance cheering. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Lucas. The ball just across midfield at the Shelby 49-yard line. The Cubs to the line with 18 seconds to play. Quarterback under center. Line is set. They'll snap the ball. They'll pitch it. They'll actually get a double handoff to Noah Langston. He'll knife inside the 45, get a first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A 9th home and kitchen supply first down with just 4 seconds to play in the game. And that will bring us to our final score tonight from WW Skiles Field in Shelby, as the Whippets victorious tonight over the Lucas Cubs by a final score of 37-7. I'll tell you what, Eric, Lucas, we know, a very, very good football team. They're going to make a long run in the playoffs in Division 7. But I think a lot of people around Richland County know this. I believe the Whippets could be destined for a nice playoff run in Division 4.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, you know, you got Clyde, who's obviously the reigning state champion. And they're going to be, and Bellevue, you know, and Wasion, and then Shelby. There's a few other teams that, you know, Huron's good. There's a couple teams up there that are pretty good, but Shelby's going to have just as much chance as any of those teams. I think tonight what you saw was, once again, that balance on offense was the defense. And I'm telling you right now, and I mean this in all respect, all due respect, you saw the difference between a really solid Division 4 program with the ability to have depth on the offensive and defensive lines in a really good Division 7 school. It's not a knock. Division 4 can't go up and compete. A good Division 4 is not going to go up and compete with a really good Division 2 or 1. It's a reality. It's a numbers game. Shelby's offensive and defensive line depth, the fact that they have 4 or 5 guys that when they touch the ball on offense can score, that was a tall task. I'll tell you what, I actually give Lucas credit because of the way they played this MOAC schedule and have dominated it. And quite frankly, they just played a team that is just a little bit more talented. There's no shame in that. And I thought Lucas competed their butts off, and I thought they did have a lot of opportunities today to make this a very competitive game. Shelby made the plays down the stretch. Lucas didn't make those plays.
Coach Spittler told me, win or lose in this game, this will make them better.
Absolutely.
Coming here against a very good Shelby team. and the Whippets win tonight by a final score of 37-7 in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. We'll step aside. We'll come back and put a wrap on this one. Final thoughts. We'll hand out the awards and run down our scoring summary. Our post-game show coming up, brought to you by your friends at the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. 9 branches across the county. Visit them online at mrcpl.org. This one's in the books. When's the last time high school football ended on a Friday at 8:47?
I'm telling you, babe, when you play the Cubs, man, you're getting home early. You put the feet up, get the fire going, and watch your little weekend at Bernie's, man.
Just to let you know, the last time I remember finishing a high school football game before 9 o'clock, Erik Will was taking the Shelby Whippets to the state Final Four. Yeah. Running clock after running clock. That's the last time I remember a football game ending this early.
Yeah.
This one ended quickly here tonight. We'll step aside. Our post-game show coming up next. 37-7. Shelby, a winner over Lucas. We'll put a wrap on it when we come back. You're listening to High School Football on My 100.1.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back in Shelby at Skiles Field. Final score tonight in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. The Shelby Whippets a winner 37-7 over the Lucas Cubs. Pediatric Consultants of Ashland and Mansfield, featuring comprehensive care with in-person or telehealth visits. Learn more at ohiopediatricians.com. And a great football game tonight. They got off to a really good start. We'll run down through the scoring summary. We'll hand out our Spitzer Motors Game Changer, and we'll also announce who made a heck of a play in tonight's football game here tonight. Let's begin with the scoring summary. It got on the board early for both teams in the opening quarter. At the 10:32 mark, it was a 64-yard touchdown pass right down the middle. Quarterback Marshall Shepard hooked up with wide receiver Connor Hankel, who rolled to the end zone, broke a couple of tackles, 64 yards, point after good by Marshall Shepard, made it 7-0 Shelby. At the 2:47 mark of the opening quarter, Lucas tied the game up. It was a 1-yard touchdown run by junior Grant Barrett, and the point after was good by Aiden Culler, made it 7-7. And we thought that might be the last score of the opening quarter, but the Whippets had other plans. With .7 left on the clock, under a second, Owen Fisher rolled one into the end zone from 1 yard out. Point after was no good. That made it 13-7 Shelby after 1 quarter of play. We go to the second quarter, and nobody scored until the 1:38 mark before halftime. It was a 22-yard field goal by Marshall Shepard. That made it 16-7 Whippets, and that's where we went into halftime. Well, in that third quarter, it looked like Lucas might be on their way down the field to make this a 1-score game. They had a bad snap, and it really kind of put them behind the chains. They had to punt the ball away, and the Whippets started to score in bunches from that point. At the 6:49 mark of the third quarter, it was a gorgeous pass, and it was an even better reception and tightrope down the sideline. It was 58 yards on the hookup from quarterback Marshall Shepard to wide receiver Andre Hill, who had a night. That touchdown went for 58 yards, point after good by Marshall Shepard, made it 23-7 Shelby. Again, that was just under 7 to play in the third quarter. Then at the 2:53 mark of the third quarter, it was a 16-yard touchdown catch from Marshall Shepard to Cody Lance, the third touchdown pass of the night for Marshall Shepard. Point after good by Marshall Shepard, made it 30-7. That was our score after 3. And then one of everybody's highlights of the night, especially up here in the broadcast booth, freshman Skylar Winters at the 2:43 mark scored on a 2-yard touchdown run to make it our final score. Point after was good by Shepard. That made it 37-7, but the play was the 56-yard run he had right before it that set it up, and that's what everybody's talking about in the booth, as the Whippets win tonight by a final score over Lucas of 37-7. You are listening to our post-game show tonight. It's brought to you by your friends at the Mansfield-Richland County Public Library. 9 branches in the county: Mansfield, Belleville, Butler, Crestview, Lexington, Lucas, Madison, Ontario, and Plymouth. Remember, they are urging you to crack a book tonight.
Baby.
This one's in the books. Why aren't you? Find out more about your branch online at mrcpl.org. And we believe we may have head coach Rob Mahaney making his way up to us in a moment, so we will await that as we are just a little bit before 9 o'clock. And I'll tell you what, there was so much hype for this game. It got off to a great start, both teams scoring. The thing I looked at coming into this game was the Whippets passing attack. With so many weapons, they can spread you all over the lot. And we watched Marshall Shepard from game 1 to game 5. That kid has taken a step every single week.
Absolutely. And you know, Blaine Bowman's a stud. Andre Hill's a stud. Cody Lance is a stud. Connor Hinkle. I mean, all these guys just make play after play. And you look at it, Andre Hill had 4 catches tonight, one of which was a 58-yard touchdown pass. And Connor Hinkle had the 64-yard touchdown pass on that long third down to kind of get the momentum moving for the Whippets offensively. And I really do believe that's the difference in the game is Shelby has the ability to be so diverse in the way that they can hurt you, and so because of that, they're a tough team to game plan against, because fine, you can slow Owen Fisher down, and I'll say this, Lucas gets an A+ on that tonight. There's no doubt about it. They took Owen Fisher away, Shelby's best offensive weapon, but then Marshall Shepard comes back and says, listen, that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. I'm going to facilitate the ball. I'm going to get it out to my athletes and let them make plays. And I thought his deep ball, I thought the way he throws a deep ball was like on task or on par tonight. It was beautiful. And how about his receivers helping him to go make a few plays? Andre Hill with that, it wasn't even a touchdown. It was just an unbelievable catch that he made over top of the DB. Cody Lance catching the ball, in traffic and going in to score. So, Coach Mahaney's coming up here now, so we're going to get an opportunity to talk to him, which is really cool stuff after a game like this. It's a good night to be a Whippet.
Absolutely. Rob Mahaney is making the charge up the stairs. The Whippets a 37-7 win.
We're making him work. He's getting a workout, and we're going to have him do burpees here after this as well.
He's on his way up to the top, and head coach Rob Mahaney is joining us. He's just outside of the radio booth. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Boy, you really have to be proud of the way your kids played. You guys played so well here tonight.
Yeah, let me catch my breath here for a second, but no, I am. I thought our kids did a great job. We knew we were going to be challenged. Obviously, they're a really well-coached football team, and what they do is so unique that it was going to present a challenge for us. But we did a great job. I told the guys down there on the field, it's hard to simulate that all week in practice. Okay, we did the best we can. We told our scout team we're going to buy them a bunch of ice cream for Monday because they did the best that they could. But I think it took us one drive to kind of settle in defensively and see it. And then I thought we kind of played Shelby Whippet defense. Credit Coach Amicone, who does a great job. Then offensively, we just made plays. We got the ball to our playmakers. Shep did a great job. Other than the one interception, we got to get better at that. But other than that, I thought we did a great job.
Now, Coach, talk to us about, because I'm glad you brought Marshall up. I thought he was really good tonight. Like you said, other than the one decision. But, man, his maturation process from week one has just I think you guys are so good because of the way that, Owen had a tough way to go tonight. But Marshall Shepard picked that slack up. Just talk to us about Marshall Shepard's, his maturation process from week one to now, because I think he's balling out as well as anybody we've seen this year.
Yeah, I think, when you go back to the beginning of the season with the COVID stuff, we didn't get any 7-on-7s. We only got one scrimmage. So week one, it's kind of, this is it. You're learning under fire as fast as possible. So I think Marshall's done a great job, even in a shortened season. Now we're almost done with it. We got one more regular season game of getting better every single week. And that's all you can ask them to do. Erik, you were talking about it, but I thought they did a really good job against the run all night. And we preach ourselves. Jake Furr makes fun of me, but we're going to take what the defense gives us. We are going to take what the defense gives us. And we were able to make plays on the outside. They were giving us one-on-ones. Andre Hill played great. Cody Lance, Blaine Bowman. Connor Hinkle Hinkle. I told people last week after Galleon, Connor Hinkle's good enough to be a 1 or 2 wide receiver at other places. We just got really good wide receivers. He proved on that first play with that big catch.
Yeah, you talk about your wide receivers. Coach Mahaney, Shelby, head coach Rob Mahaney joining us for a moment longer. I wanted to bring up Andre Hill because he's really, and you have so many weapons, but when you think about Bowman, you think about Lance, you mentioned Hinkle, but Andre Hill making guys miss down the sideline. He's got the speed. He's got good hands. You guys feel so comfortable throwing to any of your receivers. Yeah. That's what makes you so dangerous, along with that great rushing attack.
Yeah, I think so. And it's crazy. We also like to get Owen involved in the pass game, but we haven't had to this year. So really we got 5 guys out there we feel can catch the ball. And Andre definitely, you want to talk about maturing through the season. Right. We talked about Marshall. Andre's doing it too. There was a little things. As a sophomore, he played a lot for us, but now he's kind of taking those steps we need to see his junior year. Kind of in our offense, with some of our air raid principle, he's got to figure out where the space is and try to get there and either run an out, a go, or a post, just different things that we want to do, and he's got it figured out now. And when he's got that figured out, man, you combine that with the mental part now with his physical gifts, he's going to be a really good wide receiver for us.
I think I'm with you. As far as your receiving core goes, he is 58-yard touchdown catch. Like you were talking about, I love the way Marshall facilitates. 5 different guys caught a ball tonight. 2 guys caught 4 balls. That's the kind of night that Marshall had. Now, I'm going to talk to us about this game tonight, and we're going to let you go here shortly because I know you want to go celebrate with your beautiful family down there. Talk to us about just how cool this is, because this is a gut test game. This is like a mental, physical toughness game. Lucas is a physical football team. Throw divisions out. I don't even want to hear about that. They are a tough, hard-nosed, and more importantly, winning football team. So what are the positives you're taking away from that?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, before, I want to make sure our offensive line did a great job tonight, too, in pass protection. Marshall had a clean pocket. But when you're talking about Lucas, exactly what you're talking about, Eric, they are a physical football team, and we had to answer it. When we get into the playoffs and we get deeper, we're going to face physical football teams, whether it's a Bellevue, who's definitely a physical football team. Those are teams in our region that I know. So, when you get there, you got to be able to answer it when you see a team that's really physical. I thought we did a great job of that. The big thing for us is to play a game like this. It kind of felt like a playoff game. I know it's COVID, no doubt. But there was noise. The fans were into it, both sides. So it was a big game for us, and to be able to come out here. I told our kids we get one opportunity, right? Because of COVID, this is probably the one time Shelby and Lucas are ever going to square off. This is our one chance, so make the best of it. It's the one time for our community against Lucas's community. Let's play and see what can happen. And the good news is I'm going to cross my fingers. I hope I'm not getting too far ahead. But boy, you talk about now we're going to be 5-0. Seeding is this week. Hopefully we get a first-round bye. It's going to be like the top 8 teams in our region. I would hope we're in the top 8 now. And, boy, we could really use that week to get healthy. I'm not going to lie to you, Aaron. Owen Fisher gets healthy. Merrick Albert gets healthy. Xander Wilkins gets healthy. David Ray can get healthy. All these guys that are playing through stuff or not even playing with our best defensive linemen, our best offensive linemen are both out. We can get them healthy and ready to go in the playoffs.
Well, if you don't have a first-round bye, I'm going to say this because you won't. If you don't have a first-round bye, I'm going to question the entire integrity of this process because you have definitely earned that first-round bye.
Coach, last thing. Any doubt in your mind when Skylar Winters, the freshman, bolted down the sideline that you were going to hand him the ball at the 2-yard line?
No, we were going to reward the young pup. There ain't no doubt about that.
That's right. Yeah. Coach, that's awesome. You got 3 backs, man. All 3 of them ran really well. You know what Owen could do. And I'll tell you what, David Ray, and then the young pup running down there, man.
Winters.
That's what I said. I go, he looked like old John Riggins running down there, man.
What's funny is that we have Brinson DeLauder too, but like I said, we're so banged up that we went through 1 or 2 or 3 running backs there. They're all banged up, so we put the young pup in, and he closed the deal for us.
Yeah. Well, Shelby, a big winner tonight, 37-7 next week. Conference title implications against River Valley. Rob, we will see you next week here at Skiles Field. Thank you so much for making the hike. You got your steps in, right?
That's right, buddy. Got his steps. Thanks. Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Absolutely appreciate it. Rob Mahaney, football coach of the Shelby Whippets. Thank you for making the hike, sir. We appreciate that. And final score tonight, we got to hand out our awards. 37-7, Shelby a winner over Lucas in the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week. Let's begin with who made a heck of a play, and let's begin with the freshman.
Got to.
Skylar Winters, who bolts down the sideline 56 yards, rewarded the young pup, as he said, and he bolts it in 2 yards out, and I'm telling you what, the press box was buzzing over that.
Well, and you know what? Here's the thing. That's supposedly that mop-up time. This dude gets, I believe, a pizza, right? He getting a pizza?
He gets a pizza.
He's getting a pizza.
Yeah.
That guy's getting a pizza, and all he did was come out here and just run it was tough and did all those little things. And it's not mop-up time. He got valuable reps, got himself in the end zone on a Friday night, and everybody's talking about it. Like you said, he is literally the toast of the town. So I hope that dude enjoys every last bite of that pizza.
All right, that pizza courtesy of Giannino's and the Heck Law offices with our heck of a play to Shelby freshman running back Skylar Winters, who had 3 carries.
And
I think
he
had better than 60. He had better than 60, close to 70 yards and a touchdown. That's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think he's now got more yards per. His average is now better than Owen. So Owen's got to get to work here.
All right. Well, anyway, that's our heck of a play tonight from Mansfield's injury lawyer Jeff Heck and the Heck Law offices. Again, free pizza from Giannino's. All right, on to our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose hustle, whose effort helped change tonight's game for his team. And there's so many guys for the Whippets. Last week it went to quarterback Marshall Shepard, who threw the ball so well you could go there tonight. But the guy that I really liked tonight, and we kind of talked about him a lot in the interview, was wide receiver Andre Hill, who is becoming that other monster weapon.
Yeah.
Blaine Bowman's like the 1. He's becoming like the 1A.
Right. Well, and it's funny because we had picked him to be our player of the game, but Coach Mahaney specifically brought him up in his development and his maturation because we were talking about Marshalls, and he deserves it tonight. I thought he played really well. I thought he played lights out. I thought he was crisp, and he does the little things well. He runs good routes. He blocks for his running back. That's growth in his game because I don't know if he was doing that as a sophomore, and kudos to him for taking and allowing himself to be coached because I thought he played a whale of a game tonight. He had a couple – the one touchdown or the one catch in particular was a 52, 51-yard play, and he went up and got that ball over the defensive back. He definitely deserves that T-shirt, and he can wear that thing with pride.
All right, so congratulations to Shelby wide receiver Andre Hill, our Spitzer Motors game changer. His hustle, his effort, his 58-yard touchdown helped the Whippets with the win here tonight. Courtesy of Spitzer Motors, longtime sponsor of high school sports. And again, you can check out all the great deals at drivespitzer.com, West 4th Street in Ontario. And again, lease a brand new Kia for less than $100 a month. Great Jeeps, trucks as well. Shop online at drivespitzer.com. And that's the story tonight here from Skiles Field as we put a wrap on our postgame show. This one's in the books, our postgame show brought to you by your friends at the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. You can say goodbye to the late fees with the all-new Auto Renew mobile printing now available at the main branch. And I mentioned this, I chatted with the director of the library, Chris May, a while back. You would not believe the cool things that they have going on at your branch of the library. You wouldn't believe all the services they offer. So make sure you head online, check out all 9 branches of the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. You can find more information about all 9 at one website online at mrcpl.org. This one's in the books, brought to you by the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. All right, that's going to do it for our post-game show tonight. Next week we're back here at Skiles Field where the Whippets, who are 5-0, will entertain River Valley. Whippets win, conference title implications, all of that good stuff coming in the final week of the regular season. And, my friend, that's why you play football,
Absolutely.
Right?
And we're going to talk to our sidekick here, Jory. Jory, do we know who won River Valley's game tonight? Do we have any idea of who won that game? Because we have know what's coming up here.
We can't put her on the spot like
well,
that.
Yeah,
now.
She's got the internet there. She's well schooled. I have faith in her. River Valley did get a W. Yep,
they won 21-7.
So there we go. So we're gonna have
41. I'm sorry.
So we
41-7.
And here's the thing, River Valley. Let's talk a little bit about next week. Stud sophomore quarterback.
Yeah.
Really good junior wide receiver. Celebrate this one tonight and then get yourself ready to go next week. Because I'm telling you, River Valley's going to be a really tough opponent here at Skiles.
All right, that'll be our game next Friday night right here on iHeartRadio and My 100.1. Myself, Aaron Hines, Erik will have it for you pregame at 6 o'clock. We'll kick it off at 7 here. River Valley and Shelby from Skiles Field in the regular season finale, and then maybe, who knows, maybe a month and a half or a 2-month playoff run. Sound good?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And you know what? The great thing this year is it's before Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah.
So you and I won't miss the turkey and trimmings with our family.
We were all over the state last year in the playoff run. Thanks for everybody here at Shelby High School, their cooperation to make our broadcast possible. Thanks again to outstanding athletic director Pat Lewis, Jory in the booth as well. We appreciate the work. The OH report, teaming up with them, great work with them tonight. And thank you so much for listening to the Pediatric Consultants High School Football Game of the Week here on My 100.1. Pediatric Consultants of Ashland and Mansfield, featuring comprehensive care with in-person or telehealth visits. Learn more at ohiopediatricians.com. Shelby 37 and Lucas 7. Once again, we appreciate you listening, and will join us next Friday night for River Valley and Shelby here from Skiles Field. For Erik Will, I'm Aaron Hines. Thanks for joining us. Final score, one final time. Shelby 37 and Lucas 7. Thanks for listening as we say good night from Shelby.